Well, welcome back to another episode of Enter the Nerdom. I'm here with co-hosts
Stan Warncini.
What's in Bradshaw? And I'm obviously Chad Cook.
Is this where the energy we're gonna have for this episode?
Hey, let's get loose. Let's get silly with it. You know what I mean?
Who's this voice supposed to be?
I don't know. I just made it up on the spot.
I love it.
I mean, I did come up with a character that I might put in a reel, but it's like this morbidly obese guy who runs a podcast about candy bars. And he's just like, my favorite candy bar is a Milky Way. Just making noises and, stuff like that. And that's funny.
Does he review the candy bars?
Yeah, he goes, okay, first up is a Mars bar. And then, yeah.
I'm subscribing.
Yeah,
that's good.
I think.
Me too.
And then it'll expand to other foods when he makes it through all the candy bars off.
If he does.
If he does.
Yeah.
That's the question. So, yeah. I'm glad we...
I feel like this is more of a TikTok account than
Probably.
Than a podcast.
Maybe.
I don't know how long he could talk about each candy
Well, no,
bar.
it's more of a small character to throw at people that, that it could be done. It could be done.
It could be a Quibi series.
Yeah, Quibi.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We're bringing
still
Quibi
around?
back. No, we're bringing it back, though.
Oh, okay.
Well, would you rather Quibi or Tubi?
Well, Tubi's still around, so
Tubi is-
put it on
Tubi, and Tubi's got those hits, those lovely, lovely hits.
Oh, so many good movies.
Yeah.
out there.
Yeah, anyone with a iPhone can have a Tubi movie.
Pretty
Let's-
much, yeah.
We should make some for Tubi.
Yeah.
Let's do that. Yeah.
I don't know what their budget is.
It doesn't matter.
They're
They
just
don't have
throwing
any
money
budget.
at people.
They don't have any budget.
Yep. I love it.
We got a lot of stuff to talk about on this
Yeah.
episode.
Yeah.
Got a lot to get to. I guess we should open with X-Men 97.
Oh, yes.
Stand for the national anthem, please. 90s kids. Well, I'm behind an episode. I think
Same
Chad
here,
is behind 3 episodes.
Theory because
Because he has to wait until Saturday morning to watch it.
It's his religion.
Some
it is a
fucking
religion. It is written, so shall it be done.
And you can only watch them between like 8 and 10.
No, 8 and 11.
When the originals aired.
And I'm up then. I'm popping them in. Pop, 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 pop. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to pit 3 up this Saturday morning.
Are you doing 9 a.m. Eastern? Because that was
My
when you were a
time.
kid?
It's around me.
No,
It's
but when
me.
did you
I was
originally
giving you a
watch
bigger
them?
window.
Right?
When did I originally watch
Yeah,
it?
Eastern, right?
Eastern
Did you grow
time,
up in
yeah.
New Jersey?
Yeah.
Okay, well then you're fucking it up, dude.
No, hey,
Okay.
it doesn't matter.
Time
not
is
being
relative,
authentic.
baby.
Whenever the sun is up in my area, that's when it's
I
lit.
could do,
Whenever
I
you
could
can
do
crawl
8,
out of
I could
bed.
do 8 to 11 here in LA because I was born and raised in LA, so I could do that.
See, I watch them in England, so I'm watching them
you're
8
even
hours
more-
ahead.
Oh god, you're even worse, dude.
Oh,
Yeah.
jeez.
Yeah.
So you'd have to watch them like 2 in the morning.
Which I normally do.
something like that.
That's what I do anyway.
Well,
As soon as they drop at midnight, I'm like, boop.
There you go.
It'd be my 8 a.m.
I mean, I'm not going to have cereal at night, even though I've done that before.
I fucking love a bowl of cereal at night.
Yeah.
I've
I
eaten that for
murder
dinner
a
every
bowl
now
of
and again.
cereal at
Yeah,
night.
that puts you to bed. That's like your bed.
Yum, 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 yum,
We
bed meal.
did that a lot in Iraq and Afghanistan. Just
Yeah.
bowls of cereal because they have the packet cereal.
Oh,
Just put some milk in there and go on your own mission. And
out
that's
of
your dinner.
the pack?
Yeah, the little
was
plastic
like
packs.
Oh, okay.
local yak milk or
No, it was just regular.
regular.
Thankfully.
Did you guys have like mini fridges or something?
No, we
How
go
do
to
you
the dining
keep that
facility and you just get the cartons of milk.
I wasn't sure if you're out on patrol and it's like, oh man,
We
I'd
don't
love
know
some
anything
cereal.
about the
So-
military, so we expect you're in trench warfare,
And
right? You're in foxholes.
We also had coolers in our Humvees that were
Okay.
full of
Cooler.
ice.
Yeah.
So you throw water in there, sodas,
Beers?
and every.
This sounds more like a
Not
fishing
officially.
trip than
Not
war.
officially, yeah. Sometimes
Hey,
that's
you know what? It does sound kind of fun.
Yeah, sure, it is.
Join the
yeah.
military.
Sure.
There you go.
That's
We're
what-
sponsored by
That's what it was. It was fun. Yeah.
Army.
Can I skip the whole boot camp part and just
You
go
cannot.
right?
You cannot. Unfortunately.
I mean,
Okay.
you know what? That's like a good it's a good workout routine and diet. I mean, boot camps are fun.
All right.
Sure.
yeah.
That's what it was. It was fun. Yeah.
You got those guys that are motivating you the entire
Yeah,
time.
you know?
Oh yeah. And they're super nice to you too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can wake up whenever you want.
Oh man, that sounds like a treat.
It's awesome.
Do they teach
Yes,
you
you
crafts and stuff? And
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
You know what? And then they take away all the you don't have to worry about what you have to wear.
oh yeah,
Yeah, you wake up
You
and
can just-
Or what
it's
to
right
think.
there. Yeah.
You know.
I mean, that sounds so much pleasant.
and
So
I think they do the
it's
laundry
amazing.
for you, right? You don't do your own
Oh
laundry.
my gosh.
Sure.
Yeah.
This sounds like a resort.
That's what it was. That's what it was. They should have. We should have been paying them to go. You know, we should have been paying them.
I think we all were. Wink.
Wink. You kind of not when I was in.
Oh.
Not when because you guys were. Well, maybe you were, but not you.
Yeah.
Were you playing Tex in England? Shut up.
So X-Men.
He doesn't have to. All the tea we dumped in the ocean. Right?
All the tea. Oh yeah, we're paying you back for that.
Yeah, we're paying you
Sorry.
back for the tea.
We apologize for that.
Sorry about that, man.
Yeah,
You'll get through that bill finally at some point.
X-Men 97.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't even know how we got on the serial thing, right?
Seriously.
Yeah.
So, so now there's 5 episodes out.
There's 5. The 5th one dropped yesterday. Yeah.
So, and everybody's been raving about
Yeah,
this. I haven't
everybody-
seen. I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah. I don't want to spoil anything about the 5th episode.
But why is it so? Without spoilers, not that I care, but like
It really does capitalize on a lot of the threads that were kind of put out there, like the Rogue Magneto storyline gets kind of fleshed out a little more, and this is not really a big spoil, but it deals with the island of Genosha becoming part of the UN.
yeah, because
Okay.
they've been talking about that in the last
Yeah,
episode.
Yeah.
and it's fucking good.
Is it?
And
Yeah.
is like you don't have to say who if there is a person, but like is there like a returning character or characters that come into that episode that make it
There's a lot of cameos.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
it's because Genosha is now this kind of haven for mutants.
Okay.
So man, you can eat up the Easter eggs on every scene when they're walking through the streets. There's a million mutants from different runs of the X-Men you'll see there.
Mhm.
Stuff from like even modern runs. So it's really cool, and I really
Nice.
don't want to spoil it because
Fair-
it's
fair
a
enough.
really
Cool, cool.
good episode.
Well,
Is
the
it-
last. Oh, go ahead.
Oh,
Go ahead.
I was just gonna ask because it seemed like, or at least it's been mentioned that Mr. Sinister is gonna be the main villain.
That's what they're pointing at.
But I would kind of be curious because I don't think the Brotherhood of Evil is still around at this time.
No.
So like, is there? There's not really many evil mutants or evil.
Yeah, it's really just delving more in the aftermath of the Friends of Humanity stuff.
Okay.
And also dealing with Scott and Jean and their relationship and where are they, because Jean doesn't know if Scott was married to her or the clone. Scott had a kid with the clone.
Yeah.
So he has that connection, and so it's them dealing with their relationship, and Jean trying to figure out who she is and when was she cloned. She doesn't even know if she was the Phoenix or not.
True.
So it's very interesting, their dynamic, and this episode gets me really excited to see where this show is going.
Okay.
I think the first 3-4 episodes are a great way to kind of, I remember the show, and get you back into the feels, of the show. And then this is where shit gets really kicked up.
Nice. Okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah, the last episode, it seemed like they kind of took a little bit of a breather.
Yeah.
Because they had, well, not a spoiler, but they had Mojo on there.
Yeah.
And he's kind of a joke.
It's a very
character.
like a kind of a bottle episode kind of thing. Like, we're going to take a
and
couple of these episodes, go off to the side.
Yeah, because they did a part 1 and a part 2.
Yeah.
Part 1 was dealing with Jubilee and Mojo, and the second part was Storm and Havoc.
Right.
And that was, it kind of seemed like it came out of nowhere. It's just like, wait, Storm and Havoc after Jubilee and
Or Forge. It's Forge.
Or Forge,
Yeah.
excuse me,
Forge,
yeah. I was like, well, okay, that's kind of
It
kind of seemed a little.
It was weird that they broke it up like that. I mean, I feel like it's interesting because I don't remember the original show ever doing that kind of like
I don't remember
middle of an
I don't think they
episode
did,
splitting the storylines up like that.
It would, because when Wolverine was on his own, like he would be roaming around, like it would cut between his story and then like maybe 2 or 3 of the X-Men back at the mansion.
Right, but this
This
isn't
is
a
2
cut
separate
between.
episodes
Oh, it's
in one.
literally
Yeah.
like
really?
half the episode is just one whole story. Half the episode's a whole nother story.
Yeah,
Yeah, then
it was
I-
strange how they did it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But-
It's probably the weakest episode of them. Well, yeah, of them so far, of all
Right.
of them. But I mean, it was still good.
It's good. Yeah, I mean, and yet again, I think there's a lot of fun with that episode.
Yeah,
And I totally see
Jubilee
why.
story for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I see why they did it. Because like I said, the 5th episode is really story heavy, story driven. So I like the 3rd. I feel like the 4th episode is kind of like a nice deep breath before we get into this story. Because I don't see them going back to that kind of format after that 5th episode.
Yeah, that's true.
Now, for the show in general, do you think? I know that back in the day they were limited to characters in the Marvel universe, so at least they had the Spider-Man crossover.
Yeah.
Do you think other superheroes might come now, or
I think possibly. I mean,
because they're still technically not in the same.
Yeah. I mean,
but
season 5 of the original did have that Logan Captain America episode.
Oh yeah.
Set in the
that's
40s.
right. Yeah.
So you could potentially you can have like Cap back, or you could like kind of lean into the Avengers possibly, and maybe not this season, but if they do another season, X-Men versus Avengers storyline.
Well, because like they've never had dialogue where they're mentioning superheroes.
No,
it's
yeah,
always
it's
mutants
true. Yeah.
or non-mutants.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious if superheroes will enter the equation like down the line, or if at all.
Yeah, I don't know.
Or if they'll keep it separate still.
Um,
but that's an option, I guess, because now they're with Disney. So
yeah, I think the door is open, but I like that they're just concentrating on this core group and the storyline, and not trying to be like, well, no, and then actually, like
no,
they've been
Fantastic Four.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think it would be very easy for bad writers to do that.
Yeah,
To be like, oh, now we've got all this fun sandbox to play with.
yeah.
But instead of going like, no, we're keeping it true to the show, to the original show, and I feel like it is very much true to the original series.
I don't remember in the '90s Spider-Man. Did any of the X-Men make it into the Secret Wars on that show?
Secret Wars. Yeah, Storm was on
Storm
his
was there?
team.
Oh, you're right. Was Wolverine too? I think.
I don't remember if Wolverine was.
I know he went into a Spider-Man episode separately.
Yeah,
But I don't remember if he made it to the Secret Wars.
because Spidey went to the mansion when he had the multiple arms, right?
Yes, because he was asking about because he was mutating.
Yeah.
And Beast, he was
yeah.
talking to Beast about it.
Damn,
So-
I don't remember any of that. I don't think I watched that.
Oh, well, I mean, it was. That's why I'm hoping like if this show does even.
I really feel
I
like
really want them to-
Spider-Man's got a good chance
Yeah.
because the numbers for this have been really good, and I
Right.
feel like the optics of it, like a lot of people are tweeting and on social media about
Yeah.
it. Mm-hmm. So I feel like for them, that's the win.
Even LeBron James was out there loving it.
There you go.
Which is huge. Yeah.
Even we were just talking about the comedian Tony Baker, where we he was talking about X-Men '97 too and stuff. So.
Yeah, I mean it's so good. It's so well done, and I feel like it's a great love letter to that series, but it's not. I don't feel like it's really pulling for nostalgia.
Or retreading.
Right.
Yeah, like I don't feel they're like, huh? You remember that? You remember? Like it's none of that. It's
No,
like,
it doesn't feel like that at all.
It
It's
feels
just
like a
telling a good
real good
storyline.
progression.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like they just picked up where they left off. That's all it feels like.
I mean, you could
Yeah.
probably. I mean, like I would love to rewatch the original right into this now.
Right, yeah.
You know.
It's so good.
What's stopping you? You can.
It's true.
I don't have enough hours in the day. No, yeah, that's true. I could
Or,
do that every Saturday.
Yeah, show it to your kid, and then you guys watch it together, and then you get to the '97 episodes eventually.
Yeah. I
That'd be
don't
cool.
know. I don't know if X-Men
Am I not ready for that?
might be a little too young still. He loves they've got like the kids Spidey and His Amazing Friends
okay.
show. He does love that. If there was like a kiddie X-Men show,
It's fair.
mutants are hated. Ooh, yeah.
You're a responsible father.
Yeah,
I get it.
well,
I get it.
I try.
Me,
Is it
my
because he
babysitter.
just doesn't get it, or is it too much for him?
I think he's pretty smart about that stuff. Like he likes we just watched Wish, the Disney film,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and that deals with a lot of prejudices and stuff like that, and he gets it. He's pretty savvy about it. So I don't know though. It's just and he gets like we watch wrestling together,
Right.
and he knows that is not fake, but he knows that those are professional guys, and we don't do that. He's like, I don't do that at school. I don't do it with mommy, but I do it with like he knows like he could wrestle me
Yeah.
and kick my ass, and she does every night. And I
What a
cry.
change from when we were in school because we did it all the time in school.
Oh, I know. Well, it's school policy. I told you guys like he got busted once for trying to wreck a kid. So yeah, but it is.
So what we would call regular behavior when we were in school.
Oh my God! I was like, I was like power bombing kids on the playground.
Yeah, dude,
all
all
the
of us
time.
were,
man.
We
Doing the tombstone.
Yeah.
we weren't doing wrestling, but we were doing like Power Ranger stuff where I was doing the red tornado kick on someone, and I think I got in trouble for that.
Like nowadays, like you can't even make like gun. You know, like you put your fingers in a gun position.
Like not if you're going like finger bang. Like
Sorry.
I mean, sorry. What's it called?
What were you doing in school?
No,
Finger guns?
Yeah.
Finger guns.
Yeah, no, you get in trouble at school for doing that.
You know when you go
Yeah.
to somebody.
It's finger guns. Yes.
Yeah, finger guns.
Finger
Sorry.
bang is
Finger
something
bang.
else.
Finger
Let's hope that the
bang.
kids are
when I
finger
was,
banging.
you know, was finger
Yes.
banging back in the day.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's I mean the Wayans Brothers show got in my head there with the just a bang bang in your heart. Give me love.
Yeah, it's kids are a little bit more sensitive.
Yeah, that's
Or parents are more sensitive about
Yeah.
things.
that's so
I
stupid.
think that's what's
What
more.
a bunch of fucking pussies, dude. Get the fuck out of here. Let kids be kids, dude. They'll be fine.
Yeah.
We turned out fine.
Kids
God
bounce
damn it.
back.
Yeah, we turned out fine.
Yeah.
God damn it.
I mean, some of them.
No, and
bounce
that's
back.
I mean that's why I love like just wrestling my kid. And,
Yeah.
And he's a tough little guy.
Yeah,
so.
the kids are like that.
When
yeah.
he hits 10, you send me and Stan over. We'll beat him up.
Oh,
There you go.
perfect.
And then
perfect.
we'll get him ready for the world.
Yeah.
The real world.
Well, I remember we used
You
to
guys are
play
gonna end up in the hospital. Oh God!
What happened?
in elementary
Because you're
school.
old and your bones are brittle.
Yeah, he kicks our ass. In elementary school, we used to play this game that we made up called Guns, and everybody had a gun.
Uh-huh.
And we just run around and shoot each other.
Yeah.
Oh,
And I remember like kids coming up behind each other and like putting a gun to like somebody's head. Like
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
with the finger guns, and just like squeezing the trigger, and the kid would be like jumping every single time.
yeah. Me and my cousins we'd go to the woods and play Predator.
Yeah, we played Predator.
We
too,
had
yeah.
we had a bunch of. I mean, me and my cousins had an armory of toy guns.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
literally,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like had boxes and boxes of toy guns, and we'd grab them, and it would be like the, realistic looking
Right.
like
Yeah. I know what you mean, yeah.
You're the-
Uzis and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You're the kids from Terminator 2 in the desert. You're just
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Yep.
So, why do you try to kill each other?
It's
There-
in your nature.
Yeah.
There was one time in my hometown, I was walking by a toy store, and I was just, I was walking out of the GameStop that was like on our main Broad Street or whatever like that, and then as I'm walking by, I just see a car coming up, and this is like a kind of suburbish town neighborhood with stores and so. But this car's driving by, and this like windows down, and this kid pops. I don't know it's a kid, but he pops out of the window, and he's got a toy Tommy gun. He's like, but like I didn't know what it was, so I like dove to the ground.
Oh,
And
you
I'm
thought
like,
you were
yeah.
gonna get
I was,
shot?
I don't know. It's just
Yeah,
like,
no, you can't. Yeah.
but I was just like Jesus, like what the hell, kid? But I mean, so I look like an idiot. Like people are looking at me like, "What's going?" But
If you were in Los Angeles, it would have been like, good
Yeah.
job,
yeah,
good job,
exactly.
because we had a lot of drive-bys back then.
Because that it wasn't a thing in our neck of the woods or whatever.
Yeah.
But so I was just like, it's like, hey, maybe you keep an eye on your kid so you don't get shot by the police.
Yeah.
if he leans out like that. But
So X-Men 97, we also decided to come up with our ideal casting
Yeah.
for
Ah.
a new section of a new generation, I should say, of X-Men. If we were to remake the movies today, although this was harder than I thought it would.
no,
be,
it was very hard.
because like when I think of the characters, I think of the people that have already played them, and I'm like, damn,
It's
that was a
hard
really
to-
good. I was like, that was
Yeah.
a really good. Like some of the X-Men movies were hit and miss. Like
Yeah.
X-Men 3 was, I don't even remember it was that bad. But the casting for all the movies that have been made so far, I think have been pretty spot on. I think they've been really good.
Yeah.
Well,
You know,
part of me was wondering. I was like, okay, so if we are rebooting, let's say, or remaking, are we starting with the original team? Like it's Cyclops, Iceman, Beast, Angel, and Marvel Girl,
pretty much. I went
or
with
are we going like '90s X-Men where it's like
See,
that
that's
team?
why I asked.
Yeah.
I asked on when we were doing our
Yeah.
group chat about like, is this our ideal team or is this like? So mine is a little different.
Okay. Well, yeah.
I'll
No,
just
that's
say
fair.
that.
I just came up with the temple characters.
Yeah.
You know, and then who I think should play them.
Okay.
If we were to remake the movies today in our image, right?
I kind of thought I came up with two in the sense of if we were casting young or if we were casting like an old, like they've been the X-Men for a while.
Cool. Yeah, that's
so
good.
I'll probably
That's good. I did a mixture of like the middle, like the mid-30s X-Men and the younger ones too. So, yeah. Go ahead, Chad.
All right. For Professor X, I was landing on Mark Strong or
Strong.
Ray Fiennes.
Ray Fiennes, yeah.
And like both of them, like Mark Strong, I could see him being, if they had a younger team, he'd be that kind of it. And then Ray Fiennes is a little older. Yeah. But I could take out Ray Fiennes and put Terry O'Quinn, and I think he would also be a good. Because I just think of him in Lost in the wheelchair, and I was like,
he's got wheelchair.
Plus, he can be very, caring with. Like he's displayed that pretty well over the years.
He's a great actor. So
yeah.
I thought between those three, I would land on probably because is Xavier British, right?
He's not. In the comic books, he's from New York. He's from
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because I remember he
but
was
I think
adopted.
in the movies
he's adopted by the Juggernaut's family.
that was his half brother. Yeah.
Yeah, stepbrother. Yeah.
Stepbrother.
Yeah.
Stepbrother. Yeah. So that's why I was just like, I guess he is American. So then I would go with, if it was older, it would be Terry O'Quinn, and then.
It's hard to beat Patrick Stewart, though.
It's hard.
That's who I see. That's
exactly.
This was hard because I was like, who else could replace him? I mean, they did what's his name as a younger Professor X.
McAvoy was great.
McAvoy.
I would love to have McAvoy back again.
Me too. Man.
I thought he was great.
I thought he was great. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think they're whatever they go into with this new X-Men, they're gonna probably
clean the slate.
Clean slate. Thank you.
Oh, you didn't want? Oh, jeez.
Oh my God, Chad
almost killed himself.
I just hit the mic in my own face. Hey, what's going on? You didn't want to go all around for Professor X, or did you?
Oh, we could do that. That's good.
Kind of like a debate.
Yeah, let's do that. That's good.
Wise.
Professor X, I went with Daniel Day-Lewis because I'd love to see his interpretation.
Man, you went right. Okay, all right.
We're doing my left foot.
I just want to see
he would
because he would probably roll around in a wheelchair for 6 months.
Yeah, I was gonna say he would maim himself.
Yeah,
so he'd have to be
probably give himself muscle atrophy.
Do you think he would try to pick up things with his mind?
He probably would, and he'd probably be able to because he's that crazy. So yeah, I would. I just would love to see his portrayal of Professor X because he's that kind of an actor.
My Professor X, I also have Mark Strong as on my short list, but I also have Ed Harris.
Very
or
nice.
Stanley Tucci.
Oh, that's good. Stanley Tucci's good.
I love the Tooch. And I think
he's
if you want that kind of warm professor-y vibe, I would go with the Tooch. If I wanted that kind of disciplinarian, I would go with Ed Harris.
That's good, yeah.
I think it'd be hard to get Ed Harris to shave off the rest of his hair. He's
holding on to it tight.
No, this is bald enough.
It's true.
The Tooch is already there. So.
Yeah. Chad, next one. Just pick one.
Yeah. For Cyclops, for young Cyclops, I had Timothy Chalamet.
Yeah.
Because I was like, after Dune, I felt he gave off I mean, it's a typical easy grab. Easy grab. Like but an old version of Cyclops, I was like Tom Cruise.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that's good.
Especially like after the cool thing Cyclops did in the first episode.
Right.
I was like, Tom Cruise would jump out of the plane.
He would do it for real.
Exactly.
Him and Daniel Day-Lewis would be fighting. Let's figure out a way that
I can actually shoot lasers at my eyes. Let's figure out a way we can do that.
Him and Daniel Day-Lewis fighting over who could do it for real.
I still got my money on Daniel Day-Lewis.
Yeah.
For Cyclops, I just went with not middle age, but like mid-30s. Like, the one that we see in the comic book, basically. I went with Cody Rhodes.
Wow. Okay.
I think he kind of exemplifies that, that kind
heroic
of like leader, heroic,
yeah.
But like, let's do the right thing, guys. That kind of yeah.
I like
right?
that.
Yeah.
I like that.
He's got that kind of personality. So,
for my Cyclops, I have 3 actors in mind. I've already said this on our group chat and everyone booed me, but Jacob Elordi, he's in Saltburn. He's like 6'5", 4. See, what Cyclops, which they don't really do, but in the comics, he's also known as like slim, you know, and he's supposed to be like this tall, gangly kid.
Yeah.
So Jacob Elordi is like 24, I think he is, and you know, tall as hell. Liam Hemsworth, I think he could pull it off. I mean, I don't know if you've seen the pictures of him for The Witcher yet. Like he's showing off his like workout routine. He got jacked.
Sure.
He's like, you know, after Monkey Man, Dave Patel, I thought would be a really good choice.
Dave Patel,
you know, for Cyclops.
Yeah. That's cool.
All right. For Iceman, I had Justice Smith. He's the wizard from Dungeons and Dragons.
That's a great choice. Yeah.
But also, I was also thinking what popped in my head was Cameron Monaghan, who's from Jedi Survivor.
Yes.
And he would be. But if we did an old one, I was like Hayden Christensen would be a good Iceman.
Oh, okay.
In a sense. So I was like thinking that way.
Huh. I didn't do an Iceman, but
no, that's fair.
I like the Hayden Christensen one.
Yeah, I didn't do an Iceman either.
Yeah.
That's fair. We could jump to a new character. You
I'll go with Colossus. I'm thinking another wrestler, Ricochet.
Ooh. Man, you are just
you're
loving
just
the wrestlers.
Yeah, man. Because I mean, they're already cut, you know.
Yeah.
So Colossus, I think he'd be, and Ricochet, I think he'd be a good Colossus, you know. And just like seeing that dude just like transform into steel, you know. I don't remember who was the actor that played him in X2. It was just
a young actor. Yeah.
I mean, he looked pretty good too.
Yeah.
Especially the first time he transforms.
True.
And they fired those darts at him.
Yeah.
So dope. That was a great scene, that house scene. And X2 was an okay movie, but
that
scene was amazing.
Yeah.
When they attacked the school.
They really cranked it up a bit from the first one. Because you forget that first one was a cheap movie. They really had no idea what they had.
It's a really slow movie.
They were,
and there's only really one major action scene at the end, and even it's not that much action.
No.
Like they zap Toad away. That's about it.
Also, doesn't something happen to Sabretooth there? Like he is
in there, yeah.
He gets blasted, right?
Yeah, he gets blasted. Yeah, there's not a ton of fighting in the first one.
No.
It's mostly Wolverine and Jubilee's story.
Yeah.
Which I was fine with.
Or Rogue. It's not really Jubilee.
Oh, Rogue, excuse me.
Rogue,
yeah.
And although it really ticked me off that Sabretooth didn't know Wolverine, they didn't. He was just a blank character. I was like, come on.
Yeah, they should have. I don't know why they went with that.
Do you have a Colossus on your list?
I do not have a Colossus.
Neither do I.
I can't think of one.
Really? You guys went with? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was.
Colossus is a temple.
I know.
There's a you pick.
Okay. Well, let's go with Jean Grey.
Ooh. Okay.
Do we have a Jean? Because we have.
I have one.
I have a Jean as well.
Jean Grey.
I have a couple Jeans.
I've absolutely in love with this lady. Maya Hawke.
Maya Hawke.
She's Uma Thurman's daughter, who's on Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Like she's 26 and feisty. I think she'd be a great Jean Grey. That's my pick.
Oh, that's your pick? Okay. All right.
I couldn't think of a second pick. I was looking. I was like, I think it feels right.
Okay,
that's fair. I was gonna go with Lily James from. She's from Baby Driver.
Yeah. I like that.
But also another one popped in my head. Although I haven't seen her in too much, but I was like, she could be good. Alexandra Esso. She was the mother in Dr. Sleep. She played a young Shelley Young.
Yes.
I was like, she's pretty talented.
Mm-hmm.
And for an older one, I Jessica Chastain just popped in my head.
Yeah, I love Jessica
because she's. I don't know. Her face just seems like it fits the black outlining.
Yeah.
And I did also. Paget Brewster popped in my head as well because
from
Criminal Minds, and just because from the stuff I've seen from her, she's well versed. I'm
gonna do an audible and say Bryce Dallas Howard as well.
Ooh. Yeah, I was thinking those two for Jean Grey, but I had another one.
Because you said Jessica Chastain, I was like,
just because they kind of get confused sometimes. I went with Rachel McAdams.
Oh yeah,
I had the first two, but
sure.
I love Rachel because I just love Rachel McAdams. Mm-hmm. I wish she would do more stuff. So I think she's not retired, but kind of pulling back a little on roles.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Should I choose one?
Yeah.
I went with Gambit. Let's go with did we have a Gambit?
Yep.
Jeremy Allen White from The Bear.
Oh,
okay.
Interesting.
Interesting. Like that.
And the Claw.
Iron Claw.
Iron Claw.
Iron Claw. I had two. Garrett Hedlund.
Mm-hmm.
Karen Hedlund.
He's from Tron Legacy, and Austin Butler was the other one. That was just like
that's really good.
Yeah,
because
really
like
good.
I think Austin Butler's very lanky, and he could play that type of
He could pull.
Also, it's in his voice already.
Yeah, I was about
all he
to
has
say.
to do is tweak it just to be
Right.
like.
He could just do the accent.
Austin Butler's pretty good. Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
So my guy for Gambit is an actual Creole
Oh,
and is perfectly poised for a comeback.
Mm-hmm.
It's the Shia LaBeouf.
oh,
Like I think he could play that kind of like
Shia LaBeouf is Creole.
yeah, his dad
I
is
don't know.
yeah.
Shallow Bull.
LaBeouf.
I think he'd be really good as that. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and you know
He's a great actor.
He is, and like I really think he's ready for a big comeback. So
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, just anyway. But
it's
yeah,
good.
yeah.
I like that.
Alright. You want to pick?
Okay.
Oh wait, you picked already.
Yeah, I know. I picked.
Did you
Go
wanna
ahead,
pick? Okay, I'll pick. Let's see. Beast.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I had a couple versions here, but Henry Cavill, like if he was like middle aged,
okay.
like 30s or
That's
Yep.
good. Yeah.
but also another pick from Criminal Minds, Matthew Greg Goobler. He's very skinny, but like if they put him in a suit or CG, I don't know what they
Right.
would do. But he plays in a very nerdy, intelligent character that I think could work. But an older version of Beast, I had like David Harbour
Yeah. David Harbour.
or
That's good.
Mandy Patinkin.
Mm-hmm. Man,
And-
oh man, that voice would be great.
Yeah, I think his voice would be really good. But one who I thought the voice would really work was Michael Dorn, Worf
Yeah.
from
Yeah,
Star
yeah.
Trek. And I was
Mandy
like, oh, he'd be
Patinkin.
great too. So it was hard for me to choose for Beast because I had all
Right.
those ideas. But
Mandy
like,
Patinkin, yeah.
what did you guys...
For Beast, I went with Matt Smith.
Ooh.
You know.
Interesting.
The
yes.
doctor.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
doctor, exactly. So I think he's got that definitely that poise.
Yeah.
You know, that Beast carries himself
Yeah.
with.
Mhm.
That kind
Yeah,
of
yeah.
like, that refined kind of voice. So that's why I went with.
Too
I
bad
like
he's gonna be doing Morbius sequels. So
Yeah.
Maybe he'll take over as Morbius. He'll be the new
maybe.
Morbius.
Yeah, there you go. we get more movies.
Yeah.
Why not? Fuck it.
my Beast, I picked Sam Richardson. He's a
Oh.
comedian.
Yeah.
Was in Veep and a few other things,
Sure,
but
sure.
I think he's got that great. Like I almost see Beast kind of like a Baxter Stockman-y
Yeah,
kind of vibe, you know.
Yeah.
So I think Sam Richardson would be a really great choice.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Sounds good. I'll start one.
Yeah.
Let's go with Wolverine.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I went with Taron Egerton
Ooh.
from Blackbird.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's just got that, like, he's already kind of cut.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know? He's already kind of got that, I guess, like, masculinity, like, angle going for him. And he's, seems like, I think if he grew up like the sideburns, I think he could be, like, he definitely played like a younger Wolverine for sure.
Yeah.
You know? I didn't go with an older one because I can't look back.
Right.
It's always going to be
Hugh Jackman.
Yeah, it's going to
Yeah.
be Hugh Jackman for me. So, but yeah, I think if you were to start like a younger Beast, a younger Wolverine, probably Taron.
I for younger, I did have Taron, but
You did?
I did.
Yeah, everyone wants Terror to be.
But I was like, I had two other people for an older Wolverine that because it just worked for me. It was Anthony Starr, Homelander.
Yes.
And I
Oh,
just
yeah.
like put
I
some
could see
chops
that.
on him, and like I could see him,
Yeah.
especially in the rage modes of Wolverine. I could see him because I also watched a show on Stars or
oh, there's the prison one he did.
yeah, where
Yeah.
he's a sheriff pretending to be a sheriff. And
Yeah,
I
yeah,
forget
yeah.
the name of it all of a sudden, but he was badass in that.
That's he's pretty good in that.
And then the other one would be Gerard Butler. I think giving him because like I feel bad he doesn't like
He's just
have something.
Yeah.
He just jumps from movie to movie.
Yeah.
But I think he could.
He's
pull
the king of the mid card movie.
Yeah, like I think he could pull off a Wolverine if they gave him a shot.
I mean, he's got probably 300 is.
but he's
Yeah.
he's
You know.
also but he's like he's very charismatic with a lot of his characters.
Yeah.
So I think he would sell it really well with
For
like
sure.
cigar chewing and
Right.
Yeah.
just motorcycle.
For my choice for Wolverine, I have two actors.
Yeah.
Jared Queso, who is from Letterkenny.
Oh,
He's
yeah,
cool,
yeah,
yeah.
he would be a good choice
He's
too.
he's short, he's squatty. Because in my head, I want Wolverine to be a little
Yeah.
furball,
right. Yeah.
and also like he's actually Canadian, so I wanted to kind of
Oh,
have
no,
an actual
that's-
Canadian actor. Another Canadian actor who after seeing Iron Claw, I was just like, yeah, Jeremy Allen White, like he's a short, hairy little ball of energy.
I was going back and forth between him and.
I think he would be a phenomenal Wolverine.
I think he'd be really good too.
You know,
yeah.
For an older Wolverine, though, this is like 10 years ago. I always thought that Scott Conn, James Conn's kid, would be a great Wolverine as well.
I could see that.
You know, little Scotty Conn, little angry guy,
little Scott Conn.
Yeah, I think he would have been a good older Wolverine.
He would.
But he's
have
almost the same age as Hugh Jackman, so I'm like, okay,
I could get behind it, but I would. He would have to like change his voice because his voice is too laid back.
Yeah.
For I don't know.
I always think of him from like the Ocean's movie.
Oh yeah, okay.
And he's just such an angry piece of shit in those films. It's great.
Yeah. Go ahead, Jen. Fire one off.
Storm.
Yeah. Okay.
For Storm, I had two. A younger version would be Keke Palmer.
Okay.
She's from Nope.
Yep.
And then an older version, I had Rosario Dawson.
Oh, that's good.
And I just think both of them have the ability, because the way Storm speaks I'm going from the cartoon.
Yeah.
The way she speaks is very
mistress of the elements.
Yeah, just like I part of me was like, oh, if she was younger, I would get her, but Angela Bassett would be.
But she'd be
I mean, she would blow it out of the water.
Exactly,
but obviously,
she was the first choice.
Really?
Yeah, she was. Bryan Singer wanted her.
Oh man!
But it was the studio that was like, we want to go young with the cast. That's why
and Halle
they
Berry
wanted
was
Halle
very
Berry.
hot at the time.
So
because like technically, I was looking it up. I was like, how old is some of the characters during the '90s cartoon?
Right.
And they were saying Beast and Storm were like in their early 40s. So I was like, you could have probably gotten her. Just
and Halle Berry's like career was very hot at the time.
Yeah, well, no, and I understand that, but I was just like,
I
I just wanted that to match her powers, like her voice to match her powers, like thunderous, and, so
I went with Ella Balinska. She was from Resident Evil, Charlie's Angels. She hasn't done a ton of stuff, but yeah, that's a younger Storm.
Okay.
Yeah, so
nice.
I thought she fit it pretty well.
For Storm, I went with Naomi Harris, who plays Moneypenny from the new Bond movies.
Yeah,
that's the other one that was on my list. Yeah.
Or Ariana DeBose.
Which one is she from?
She was in West Side Story. She's an Oscar-winning actress. She's fantastic, though. I'm trying to think what else she was in.
Let me look her up. I'm sure.
I'm sure. Yeah, if you see a picture, you'll be like, "Oh yeah,
yeah, sure.
Can I see?
Yeah.
I'm surprised you guys didn't bring up Jade Cargill because she is pretty much just doing Storm right now.
Yeah,
she's even like her like catchphrase is "This storm is coming."
Yeah.
From what?
From wrestling. Jade Cargill.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Oh, yeah, that's true. I'm blanking on her name, but now it's completely gone. Never mind. Screw that. To jump to a new character now.
Right.
Let's go with Rogue.
I
went with Olivia Cook from Dance of Dragons.
Mm-hmm.
She played, and she was also in Ready Player One.
Okay. Oh yeah.
So I just thinking like she's kind of got that, and of course that's like mid-30s Rogue. You kind of a mature Rogue. So
I went with funny enough Keke Palmer.
Really?
Because she's actually said that she would love to play Rogue. She's got that southern charm.
Yeah.
She's feisty yet again, little feisty southern. I was like, yeah. That's she's got the Rogue essence.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. I had Caitlin Dever from that alien movie where home invasion alien movie. What's it called?
Oh yeah,
Covenant. No, not Covenant.
No,
Requiem.
I don't think that's what it was called.
No, not Alien franchise, but the.
You mean No One's Coming to Save You?
Yeah.
She's fantastic.
I thought she could play a good Rogue. Because I've seen her do her southern drawl from Justified and the like, and I was like, oh, I could see that.
Yeah, that's a good choice.
And then also, I did use Lily James again from Baby Driver.
You just love that Lily James.
No,
James is
But then my main one was like Alexandra Daddario. I was like, that would be.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah,
to tease all the boys out there,
can't touch
you guys. Sorry.
Okay. Do you guys want to go with Jubilee?
Sure. Yeah.
All right. I went with Lana Condor from All the Boys I've Ever Loved. To All the Boys I've Ever Loved from Netflix show. young up and coming Asian star.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I thought she. I watched a couple episodes of that. I thought it was pretty good. Yeah.
Nice.
Or
Oh,
Do you have a
minutes of
Jubilee?
it.
yeah, I have 3.
Okay, go for it.
This one was an obvious one, but she's a little on the older side. Is Karen Fukuhara from The
Oh,
Boys?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I could
Yeah,
see
yeah,
her.
she's
They gave
awesome.
her the cut and everything.
Yep,
It
yep,
would work, and I think she could play young if she wanted to. And Stephanie Sue from Everything Everywhere All at Once, the daughter of Michelle Dial's
yeah,
character.
yeah, she'd be
Yeah.
awesome.
She would
yeah.
be perfect.
Yeah.
And then I came across this other one. I've never seen her before, but apparently I guess she's on Disney a lot and stuff. But Peyton Elizabeth Lee, the picture, I was like, oh, wow. Like,
On the money.
yeah, and she's very young. She's like 19.
Right.
So I was like, oh, that fits Jubilee perfectly because it's, you need that bubbly personality
Yeah. Right.
to come through. So, yeah, like those 3 were my...
So my team doesn't have a Jubilee.
Okay.
Because I went with another young Asian female character. That's Armor.
Oh,
she's
yeah.
from the.
She's
Joss
on my
Whedon
Marvel
run.
Snap team.
Yeah, she's fantastic, and I love her power. Is so cool.
Yeah.
Like basically, like she can make this giant, like almost mech looking suit out of energy
Yeah.
around her body.
Oh, that's dope.
And I picked Lyrica Okano, who was in the Runaway series.
Oh, okay.
I never watched that.
Yeah, no one did, but
Yeah.
I feel like she can double dip into Marvel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's really great in that, and she's and it'd be a lot of wire work. It'd be a lot of
Yeah.
So I mean that would be my Jubilee, because I'm like, yeah, I like Jubilee, but I don't know, like the I think it's cinema, for the cinema, I want something more than just like fireworks sparks.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, so like making this giant like light suit of armor around her would be kind of cool.
That's dope.
yeah.
And of course Magneto.
Magneto, yep.
Yeah. I'm Fassbender. I'm not changing that.
He's the only holdover.
He's the only one.
That's awesome.
I had a couple, and like Jason Isaac was one. Viggo Mortensen was another.
Viggo would be great.
Yeah, Viggo would be awesome.
I even came across. I was like, because of
Be like, what kind of horse does Magneto ride? You're like, there's no horse Viggo.
Liam-
I'm not in unless I can have a horse.
I even had Liam Neeson at a moment because of
Yeah.
Schindler's List. I was like, oh yeah,
Oh, that'd be good too. Yeah,
That would be good.
That would be good.
Because he's also super tall. And
Yeah,
just
and then he's got that deep voice
powerful
for.
frame. Yeah, actually,
Yeah.
Neeson would be great.
Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah.
I was pondering Jeremy Irons, but I was like, I don't know, it might not work. But then I came, the Kingslayer, Nikolaj
Oh yeah,
Coster-Waldau.
yeah.
I was like, he would be good if you had a good
Yeah.
young professor or around the same age as Nikolaj.
There's a
Yes.
lot of people
Yeah.
wanting him for Doctor Doom, which
I could see that too.
yeah, it'd be
But
pretty good as that.
I'm still on Team Mendelsohn.
yeah.
Me too.
We
Yes.
love Mendo.
Mendo.
But if they casted Nikolaj, I would be okay. It'd
Yeah.
be fine. All right. But
agreed.
But I don't want Nick. I was like, if he is Doom, if Nikolaj is Doom, he's like, you better have that mask on. Don't be like, well, I want them to see my face. I was like, no, you didn't sign up for that. You signed up for Doctor Doom. He's got that mask on.
No, Matt. Yeah.
So get with it.
So I don't have a Magneto in my headcanon.
Mm-hmm.
So my main team, I'm going to call my movie The Uncanny X-Men.
Yeah.
And it's based on the Giant Size X-Men #1. So it's the landing on the Krakoa, the living island.
Yeah.
And the original team is trapped, and then Professor Xavier's got to get another team to go and find them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where you get Wolverine, Storm, and Armor trying to find Beast, Cyclops, and Jean. And then my main bad guy would be Mr. Sinister.
Yeah.
Do you have a Sinister?
I had an
don't.
idea one, so I say
Okay.
mine after you go with yours.
I really like the idea of Ben Whishaw, who played Q in the new Bond movies.
Oh, okay.
That's interesting.
Or
Yeah.
I've got 3 names. So Ben Whishaw, Bill Skarsgård, I thought
Yeah.
would be great because yet again tall, lanky, and then Ben Barnes, who was he was Jigsaw in the new Punisher show,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then like his group of bad guys would be Rogue, Gambit, and Sabretooth.
Okay.
Oh, nice. I had it was between John Hamm and
That's what I was thinking.
Andrew
too.
Skarsgård.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
So the older brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just trade out Skarsgårds.
Yeah.
Yeah. Plus, because he's played some sinister characters himself. And I
Yeah.
was like, oh, he would be because of
Yeah.
his vampire role in True Blood.
Yeah, I think
I was like,
yeah.
oh, he would be good
I'll
sinister.
take an older Skarsgård.
Yeah.
And there, did you have? Well, obviously, if he was younger, I would have Clancy Brown as Sabretooth.
Oh yeah.
But
That'd be awesome.
Yeah,
I
I do have a Sabretooth. Do you have?
oh, you do? I didn't really.
I didn't do
pick
any of the
one.
villains.
Yeah.
Okay.
Aside from Magneto.
Pablo Schreiber, who is Master Chief on the new Halo show.
Oh yeah.
He's 6'5". He's built like a brick shithouse.
Yeah.
No, you know he would be really good because he had a run on Special Victims Unit as a fucking crazy like antagonist of the main cop. I forget her name, but I think he would be really
that's-
good.
he's
that's
great
good,
in
yeah.
Orange Is the New Black as well.
Oh
He's in
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
That's right. He's in that. Yeah.
I also had Apocalypse,
Oh, nice.
but this would be like obviously down the line. But
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think he would be perfect for it because of his voice and his previous performances. But Christopher Judge, who is the voice of
Yeah.
God, Kratos in God
Yeah.
of War, and he's played a
Egyptian.
Egyptian in Stargate.
Yep.
So I was like, oh no, he'd
That'd be dope.
he'd be
yeah.
great.
plus he's got the same head frame.
His head
shape
is
and-
the same. Yeah.
and I
It's
was
ridiculous.
like, nah, he's got to be Christopher. It's got to be
Yeah.
Christopher Judge.
That's better than Oscar Isaac.
Yeah.
I didn't think he did.
I felt-
I didn't think it was bad.
No,
I didn't think he was
don't-
bad.
he did the best he could with
Yeah,
the
he did the
material
best
he
he could,
got
yeah.
and the big plastic suit they put him
Yeah.
in.
Well, that,
well,
yeah.
the main thing for me was like he wasn't because the cartoon was so poetic with his
Yeah,
character,
that's
with
true.
like the lines they gave him, and I was like, man, they
But
just
that monologue he did when he's like about to fire all the missiles, no more arrows, no more slings. You know, what do you strike at me? You strike at God.
Yeah.
That's so good. I sent you guys a couple pictures from Wizard Magazine back in the 90s.
Oh yeah.
Who did what we just did, which is cast their version of the X-Men and some of the villains. And this is 97, I believe. So these are the top like stars of the 90s. It might have been 95 that this Wizard Magazine came out. No, excuse me, 94. So the interesting is that they went with some of the people that they were kind of already thinking of for the movie, for the 99 movie, X-Men 2000.
Came out in 2000.
2000, yeah.
Yeah.
So they did go with Patrick Stewart for Professor X.
Mhm.
This is all from the Wizard Magazine. This was their idea. Dolph Lundgren for Colossus, which would have been awesome. Michael Dorn for Bishop, which was a great choice. Michael Behan for Cyclops,
yeah.
which was, of course, that
At that time,
Yeah,
yeah.
at the time,
yeah.
at the time, Jean-Claude Van Damme for Gambit,
Of course.
which would have been fucking dope to
if
see.
he does that dance from Bloodsport
Uh-huh.
around Rogue.
Exactly.
Just coked out of his mind, mid 90s.
Oh, yeah.
Van
Yep.
Damme.
Oh damn! The storm got cut off here for the picture.
Does it go into the next page? I don't know.
Might shit. No, it doesn't.
I think it was Amon or something.
I think it is Amon. Yeah, you're right. Okay.
Yeah.
Nicole Kidman for Jean Grey, which is a good choice.
At
Yeah,
that
So
time,
she was
yeah.
very her career was hot at the time. So
Yeah.
that makes
Yeah, she
total
just
sense.
came off like Batman Forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Glenn Danzig, they went for Wolverine, which is Yeah.
He's
He
a
was-
musician, right? Like,
who's that? I can't.
So yeah, he's a punk rocker. He's like 5'2". Like the guy's really short, but like yet
Yeah.
again like jacked.
Jack.
Yeah.
Yeah. It looks at the picture they got of him.
And
he's
so
jacked up.
everyone's kind of like fan casted him as Wolverine for a long time.
Okay. Dude, this was a great choice. They went with Clint Eastwood for Cable.
Ye-
Holy shit.
but pausing real quick off of
Yeah.
Cable, my pick for him currently would be I would recast him from
Well, you'd have
Brolin,
to, yeah.
and it would be Stephen Lang.
Yeah, everyone
Stephen
wanted-
Lang is good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Stephen-
that's good.
He's a
That's good.
fan favorite too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Clancy Brown for Sabretooth.
Yeah.
They went with that. So there you go, Chad.
Ew.
Yep. And they went with
Rutger Hauer.
Rutger Hauer for Magneto, which
He-
is rest in peace, man. We
Yeah.
lost. that's
He would be
fucking
great.
amazing. He'd be so good at that.
Especially
So-
like
he
off
would just
the
be-
Blade Runner.
I was just
model.
about to say he'd be
Yeah.
playing the same character,
Yeah.
basically.
They just
They went with Rebecca De Mornay for the White Queen, who was also very hot at the time because she
Yeah.
had just done The Hand That Rocks the Cradle.
oh yeah.
Which is And then, a different cast they had for Wolverine was Robert De Niro, which is very interesting.
Which I could kind of see that a bit too.
Yeah, especially like Cape Fear time.
Yeah. Where he's really
It's like
method.
ripped
Yeah.
and- yeah.
He's
Carrie
like a
Ools
two,
for
three.
Angel, which is interesting.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I could see that.
Let's see here. Storm was Imam. Yep. And then on different casting for Rogue, they had a Charisma Carpenter from Buffy the Vampire Slayer, which yeah.
I mean, she works.
Yeah. Sam Neill for Beast.
I
He'd be
love
a great
which was
pick.
so
That's a
good.
great
I
pick. It's
almost
so good.
wanted to
Yeah.
pick Sam Neill as my
Yeah.
Beast too.
That would have been awesome.
Yeah.
And then
Tia Carrera as
Psylocke.
That'd be
Yep.
great.
Just kind of going through here.
Yeah.
Cannonball, which I don't really remember from the comic too much.
He's from the
New
Brotherhood.
Mutants, yeah.
Oh,
Right.
right?
Yeah,
Or-
New Mutant.
New
Yeah.
New Moon's right.
yeah.
So the late Jonathan Brandis, unfortunately. But I
Yeah.
mean, that would have been good, I think,
Yeah.
They also had Patrick Muldoon as Gambit for a different choice, who, again, was very hot in the 90s
Oh yeah.
at that time.
Yeah.
And then with Maggot, which is, I guess, one of the...
He's one of the newer mutants.
Yeah.
They went with Jacko. They went with Jacko, who's from the Energizer commercials. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Mr. Sinister, Russell Crowe. Holy shit.
I love that.
What a great
I
choice.
can see that.
Especially that 90s Russell Crowe.
Yeah,
Oh,
man.
yeah.
Apocalypse, they went with Brian Thompson, who's been was in the X-Files. He's done a bunch of other stuff. And he was in Cobra. With Sylvester
He was also
Stallone.
Shere Khan.
Yeah, that's
Or not
right.
Shere Khan.
Shao Kahn.
Shao
Shao
Kahn,
Kahn.
yeah, that's right. Let's see here, Sabretooth. Yeah, that's it. Those are the ones that the 94
Yeah,
Wizard went with.
We'll post these up,
Yeah.
I think, on the Instagram.
So
And,
I mean, I think they did
with our picks, I think we
yeah,
should do that.
they did a good job with that. Holy
Yeah.
shit!
Yeah.
And they got spot on with Patrick Stewart. So
Yeah, I think at that point, I mean, like, was there any other option really? Like,
yeah,
Stewart
exactly.
he was great.
I mean, he was the only bald actor around.
That's true for a while. That's true. All right, so yeah, those
what
are
about?
our choice. Oh,
What if they did Tom Noonan as Professor X?
that'd be interesting.
It'd be a very.
That'd be interesting.
I don't know if you can shake how creepy he is, though.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I mean, it'd be an acting struggle for him. I think.
creepy is. Tom Noonan, if you're listening, we love you.
Yeah,
We love you, but
Tom.
it's like you got a creepy face. Come on.
Hey, come on! Don't do that.
Hey, that creepy face has made him a millionaire.
Millionaire. Yeah, exactly.
He's played some nice guys.
Sure, I'm sure. He has.
So we should probably cover WrestleMania, which is was a 2-day event that we all checked out recently.
Yep.
What did you guys think?
I gotta stand up.
Yeah, go ahead.
I gotta stand up.
Oh shit!
This was the best WrestleMania
It was so good, dude.
I have ever seen. And what's crazy about WrestleMania now it's it's a 2-night event. Never was that much, but now
Yeah.
I think there was one year they did it all in one night, and it was like an 8-hour day.
Oh, jeez.
And by the end of the show, like everyone you could see the crowd was just like they're
Exhausted.
not even like in it. So like having them break it up to 2 4-hour days,
Yeah,
smart.
good idea.
But then
Yeah.
you've also got the SmackDown before WrestleMania on Friday.
Mhm.
Then you got usually the Hall of Fame happens on Friday night. Then you got WrestleMania Saturday, Sunday, and then the Raw after WrestleMania on Monday.
Yeah.
So I watched a lot of wrestling, you guys,
right.
and all of it. I didn't feel like I could watch more. I could, it's like it was so good. It was like, just every match I think was a banger. There might have been a few that were a little slow, but still really good matches.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
I mean, I haven't been, and I think I've told you guys this, I haven't been into wrestling since I was a kid, since I was like 10, 12 years old. Because I realized they were doing the kayfabe thing, and I was like, oh, okay, and I kind of like got lost in the storylines and whatever. This storyline has kind of brought me back with the Cody Rhodes storyline, the Uso brothers.
Well, you were there last year at WrestleMania.
Yeah, in person.
You got to see that. You went to night 2 or
night 2, yeah.
Yeah, so you saw the Cody Roman match.
Yes, yeah.
So I really want your interpretation, like coming from that to the 2 matches that they had, night 1 and night 2. How did that storyline affect you, and were you invested?
I was invested because they they brought back Rock as a heel, right?
Oh yeah.
And they're so
The
good.
final boss.
Yeah, they're so
Final
good
boss.
at gaining sympathy for whoever they're ganging up on, right?
Oh yeah.
And so Cody Rhodes is already this all-American, blonde. Like, hey guys,
Got
let's do the right
the
thing.
eagles on his
the eagle. I'm
shoulders.
going to give away a belt to a kid every match.
Yep.
You know, it's all
The
fun.
nicest guy you could
Nice
find.
guy. Apparently, he's a nice guy in real life, and he's a family man. You're like, so you're already kind of rooting for this guy. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
he's great. And here come these massive dudes who are
Right.
basically beating the shit out of him constantly, telling him he can't. They're
For
going to take a
weeks.
match. Yeah,
For weeks.
They're going to take the match from him. They're kind of insulting his mother. You know, and you're kind of like, what the fuck? So
Mama
it's just,
Rhodes.
and even though you know it's all bullshit, you know, and probably Mama Rhodes and the Rock had tea like that's the day before, and like, you know, had it, and you know, he's Rock showing him pictures of his kids and shit like that. You know, but you know when they're acting, it's like, you bastard, you know.
I'm gonna put your
Yeah.
blood and
Yeah,
tears
so-
on
yeah,
this belt,
and he's
Mama
like- and he's like,
Rhodes.
Mama Rhodes, and she's like screaming back at him, and it's just like it's so great. It's like it's so cheesy and such bullshit, but it's so fun.
It's done so
It's
well.
so well because you're like part of you, just like the animal part of you, the lizard brain part of you, is
Yeah.
like cheers for this guy,
Yeah.
right? Because you're like, yeah, fuck that.
It's a gladiator match.
It's all gladiator. You know it's bullshit. You know The Rock is a nice guy.
Yeah.
You know Roman Reigns is a nice guy, but you're like, when they're on, they're on.
Yeah.
You know, so when I was watching this, like, again, I haven't been very invested in wrestling for many years, but just watching this, I'm like, I know it's bullshit, but there's something about it that just like is so much fun. And you're cheering for Cody Rhodes because you know it's just a storyline, but you know the family connection.
Yeah.
You know his father got denied, you know, the championship status because
Vince McMahon
Vince
hated him.
McMahon hated him. You
Yeah.
know, and then he clowned him. He clowned Cody Rhodes' older brother. Goldust made him look like a clown.
Yep.
You know, and then here
Yeah,
comes
he came out and did a really good podcast
yeah,
recently
man,
talking about it.
And here comes this kid who's trying to carry on the family legacy. And again, you know, it's
Started
planned.
AEW by
Started
you know.
AEW by himself. Again, like all the things I mentioned, you think that so you just naturally cheer for him.
Yeah.
So when he did win, and you know the story of how long he's been trying to get there, even though it's all planned, it still feels very much earned because it was. This is a hard job to do. You know, it's very
Yeah.
physical. They're constantly putting their body through hell. You know, and who's the announcer?
Samantha Irvin.
Like when he won, she like started crying. She like,
Yeah.
got emotional, and everybody was like came out and was like, "Hey, congratulations!" And it's like, yes, it's planned, but we saw this in Iron Claw that the characters say this like, yeah, it's all fake, but it's the person that worked really hard
Yeah.
and gets those
Deserve
butts
it.
in the seats.
Yeah.
They're the ones who get it, and you know that he worked hard to get it. So it's
Yeah.
like you feel good that, and you know,
It's a
again,
weird. I mean, wrestling's the only kind of because it's not sport, right? It's not like
Right, it's
competing
entertainment.
against other teams.
Yeah.
These guys are on the road all together
All the time,
for
yeah.
the whole year,
Yeah.
300 days a year. They're
Yeah, yeah.
doing shows together. So they, of course, it's like, how are you going to keep that hate for someone when it's like,
right, exactly.
But they're like, and they're promoting stuff. Like it's funny watching The Rock. He was just on like Jimmy Fallon,
Mhm.
you know, because he's promoting his new health care products.
Yeah,
Kinda.
yeah.
He's got like a whole line of stuff.
He's got shampoos for some
And-
reason.
Yeah.
yeah.
He's bald.
And like, you know, he's there trying, you know, and he's like, I'm Dwayne Johnson when he's doing the
Yeah,
promotion
yeah.
for that. So
Yeah.
he has to drop that The Rock persona.
Of course, yeah.
But then and then he's got to be the full heel.
Yeah.
And I heard people were booing him as Dwayne Johnson, you know, like
Yeah, sure.
because they're so invested as like, no, he's this corporate asshole now,
Yeah, yeah.
you know. And it's so funny because no other actor has to like, you know, like if you play a bad guy in a Marvel movie,
Right, I
you
know
don't
what you
get
mean.
booed on the street,
Because of that character. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You know, but people are so invested,
Yeah.
in this storyline. It's fantastic.
Yeah. It's just so, yeah. So being a kind of a casual fan and being so invested in this storyline, it felt really good to even though I haven't followed Cody Rhodes that
Right.
long, I've only followed him for not even a whole year.
Right.
It
You
just
didn't
felt-
see the
yeah,
Stardust
I could-
days.
Yes, I grew up with his brother,
Yeah.
the Stardust and his father, but just seeing him and how hard he works and how
Yeah.
everybody's cheering for him, it just felt really good.
Well,
and how
and
much
just-
he's been denied, quote unquote, denied in the
Right.
past, you know. But it's just it felt good to see him attain a goal, even though it's a goal that is not necessarily one that's 100% real, you know.
Yeah.
But it still is a goal, and he had to work really hard for it. So
Yeah.
it felt good to see.
Yeah, I mean, especially like when we went to Raw Live.
Yeah.
Like after the show, he's the one that came out and talk to the crowd, and like really positioning himself as like, I'm gonna be the face of this company, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like I mean, Roman Reigns, gotta give him credit. He kept the belt for 4 years,
right?
And was this heel the entire time, kind of, just this arrogant guy, acknowledge me guy, but it's just like, here's a guy that we're gonna, he's gonna be a baby face, he's gonna be a good guy, he's gonna be, he's gonna come out, he's gonna greet people, he's gonna, and really they're pushing that like classic kind of Hulk Hogan. I mean, there hasn't been a character like that since Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
Like even the Attitude Era, like Stone Cold would never like come out and say, oh, and talk to the kids and stuff like that. He was kind of the guy who'd come out, drink a few beers, throw hands and get out of there.
Yeah.
So I think they've got a real great new champion on their hands, and I hope this lasts. I mean, obviously, I don't want him to be a champion for 4 years straight. We don't want another long run like that. You want some kind of some back and forth
drama.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
I mean, they've done in the past back and forth where it's been like a random night on SmackDown or something.
Yeah,
you lose the belt, all of a sudden you're like, what?
Yeah, we'll see.
And then he gets it back later.
CM Punk will probably get the belt at some point, or LA Knight even possibly. So yeah, I think they really did a great job with the whole sell of the first night. With the bloodline rules, with the tag team between him and Seth against The Rock, and I think The Rock did great.
The Rock did
for
really
someone
great,
who hasn't been in the ring for like a decade.
Yeah,
he really was working.
Yeah, he sold it. Yeah, he sold it. Yeah.
And then
there was that great part when the Undertaker body slammed him.
Oh yeah, the second night. Yeah, I mean that was the thing. The second night. So Cody and Seth lose the first night, meaning second night there's no rules.
Yeah.
So you could do the cameos. You could have those Avenger moments where suddenly everyone's showing up, and it's. But they did a really smart thing of it was just a very standard match for like a good 30 minutes of it was just Roman and Cody showing what they were doing, right?
Right.
Until like we had the Usos come out, we had Jimmy come out, and then Jay come out. And they went flying off the, they did like a 2-story swan song dive. Off the ring, and then it's like, and then you had Solo Sikoa come out,
right?
And then you had, John Cena came out, and Cena has beef with Solo from last year, and it's like, okay, they threw him through a table. Then you had The Rock come out, and he took Cena, so it just kept elevating and elevating,
and then the lights cut out.
Yeah, well, and then Seth Rollins came out in his Shield gear, because that was the tag team, that was the team that him and Roman Reigns were on together, right? So, and then it's so good. The storytelling was so great in this. For anyone that was invested for years, this is great because, and then, like The Rock is there and the lights go out and you hear that gong and people lost their mind. I mean, granted, a lot of people wanted Stone Cold to show up.
Yeah, we thought that. Yeah, it's like he's got to show up. That's what I was saying. Yeah.
And
the room we were watching in lost their mind.
Yeah. I mean, this was such a good WrestleMania to see with a big group of people. Because like I think even if people didn't know what was going on, they were like suddenly when that happened, like everyone kind of stood up and went crazy. And then so The Rock gets choke slammed, and then it comes back to like a regular match between Cody and Roman, right?
Yeah.
And this is great storytelling because it was like, because you want Cody to win, but you want him to win clean. You don't want it to be interference. You don't want it to be like suddenly Undertaker gives him a high five and now he's the winner, right?
Yeah.
So Roman's got a choice. He's got the chair in his hands, and he could hit Cody or he could hit Seth. Now, what you guys might not know was the reason the Shield broke up was because Seth turned heel and hit Roman Reigns in the back with a chair, like back in WrestleMania 20 or something like that.
Oh.
So Roman had the choice of like, I could hit Cody and go for the win, or I can get revenge on Seth. And Seth's wearing the Shield outfit that he betrayed him with.
Yeah.
And he goes after Seth, and that's what gives Cody the opportunity to go after Roman.
Oh, wow.
So it's beautiful storytelling.
Right.
It's really deep.
Just tying up ends.
Yeah, like it's fantastic, and just like it was a great finisher of a great 2 nights. I mean, obviously, I really loved the Drew McIntyre match with Seth at the beginning of the day, and like McIntyre winning, and then just being a dick about it, and like him and CM Punk get into it, and then Damian Priest cashes in the Money in the Bank,
and takes it from him,
right, and like of course that's now setting up this great Drew versus Damian feud, and CM Punk's involved now, like it's not just the like ending of stories like the bloodline stuff, it's creating new ones and new conflicts, you know, like Sami Zayn win the title from Gunther, and like Sami Zayn now has, you know, Chad Gable and him, and this whole thing. I mean, it's just they're putting pieces together for what will be for the next year, you know. And I don't think you can top, like, I don't know if next year they could top this year, like, because you had 2 years of Cody and Willie finish the story, right, so you get to see, well, where do we go from here, but I don't think they'll ever be that high again of waiting for this guy to win.
Yeah, that's true. I agree with you on that.
You know, because everyone was so invested.
Yeah, well, it was such a great storyline. It's hard to see how they can replicate that. You're right.
Yeah, but yeah, man, I'm still high off it.
Yeah,
you know, like
no,
I thought
it was
fantastic.
As just as a casual fan, I was really into it for the WrestleMania, and it was just like, holy shit! And every match was, the Uso one was probably the weakest one of the night for the second night.
Yeah, the Usos was, you know, and that's a shame because both those guys work really hard. They're both really good.
Yeah, but
it really showed off how limited they are with their skill set. Like it was super kick, super kick, super kick, super kick, frog splash. Like they have the same skill set,
right?
Because obviously they've been training together.
Yeah.
So I was waiting for someone to pull something out. You know, where it's like, can I see a submission? Can I see something?
Yeah.
Other than the 3 moves that you guys normally do.
Yeah.
You know,
it's true. Chad, what do you think?
It's been like since 2005 where I stopped watching wrestling, and I only watched it during like the end of middle school into high school, and it was like the Attitude, or nearing the end of the Attitude era.
Yeah,
I guess,
that was right before like Ruthless Aggression era, which is like the
where John Cena
came in.
Yeah. And that's where I kind of just like tuned out because my 2 favorites, Rock and Stone Cold, were gone. So I was like, I got no one to root for anymore, and the storylines were kind of weak.
Yeah, it's crazy that Stone Cold's career was only like 4 years. Really.
Yeah,
97 to like 2001. And
it's crazy. Yeah,
but he had so many injuries.
No,
I mean he'd worked obviously for years before.
No, he did.
But that was his hot streak.
Yeah,
right.
And so like, come with all of you guys into wrestling, I was like, oh, you know, I give it a shot. And like the previous year with WrestleMania that you guys went to, and I was like, nothing caught me, and I found it interesting, Cody Rhodes' journey this year, but I'm still they're slowly winning me back because with the Rock heel turn, and with the
he's just so good.
He's so good as a heel, dude.
Well, it's also because they weren't delivering that tensity that was out of the ring for me beforehand, and like with the Rock attacking him outside, and or you know, confrontation going through hallways with people with other wrestlers. They, for some reason, they stopped that, and I was like, that was what built up those matches.
Right.
So
I'm glad
they
started their PG era.
No, and I heard, and I came across like something online. It's like, is this the end of the PG era for?
I mean,
wrestling?
The Rock was dropping F-bombs left and right during WrestleMania.
Especially
he even yelled
with
at the
now,
ref.
Raw, I don't fuck around. He said,
I love it.
And especially with Raw now coming to Netflix, they're going to be able to push it a little further.
Yeah.
But like, so. Obviously, they don't have to curse and stuff to get me in, but like, I just need that sort of intensity where people are really angry, or you know, sort of bring back a little bit of that attitude from the Attitude area. So I was excited to see that. So they're still winning me over, and it was exciting from what I saw. I only got the second day of WrestleMania with you guys, but from the matches I saw, some were really fun and to watch and stuff, and. The last match obviously was very exciting, where it was slow, but I was like, they're building up to it, and like when it got there, it was really fun. So I'm excited to explore it a bit more. I'm obviously not as still into it as you and everybody else and stuff like that. But I would like to be. So
Yeah.
I think Cody Rhodes is great, although he doesn't really appeal to me personally.
Right.
But I still like watching him and like, I don't know. Like,
Is there a modern day wrestler that you do like?
I was just
Like
about to ask, yeah.
As right now, no. I mean, like, I'd say R-Truth is fun to watch.
Yeah,
is
R-Truth
great.
But like
yeah.
he's fun.
That
jokey.
ladder,
You got the ladder match was amazing.
It was
Yeah.
probably
Yeah.
my favorite one of the night,
Yeah.
other than the finale.
And-
like,
Yeah, and he got the belt.
yeah,
That was awesome.
first win
And
in
the
his
great thing
career
was that
at
when
WrestleMania.
because everybody roots for him because he's such a fun character.
Yeah.
So when he got it, like he looked like he was generally happy.
Yeah.
Like he was
Yeah.
up there and he's like smiling ear to ear, and he kind of got emotional, and the crowd lost it that he got it because again, it's like he's this fun character, but like people like him so much, so then he got a win. Everybody
Yeah.
was so excited that he
Yeah.
got it.
Did you guys watch Raw on Monday or no?
I didn't.
No.
Okay, he had a great match on Raw.
Did it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
So, so Damian Priest won the heavyweight belt,
Uh-huh.
and Rhea Ripley kept her belt.
Mhm.
So they came out on Raw and they were kind of like showing off like Judgment Day,
Uh-huh.
we rule.
Yeah.
And then in the middle of their celebration, R-Truth kind of shows up like, "Hey man, I got the
Oh,
tag
wait,
team belt
I
too."
did catch that
And
part. Yeah.
they were like just going like, "You're not in Judgment Day," and then the whole crowd
That was all we
was
got.
just, "He is in."
Yeah.
They're chanting.
Yeah, yeah.
And then they do a 6-man tag team match. So it's Miz, R-Truth, and someone he can't see because R-Truth sees people that aren't there. That's this whole
Yeah,
thing. Versus like it was Dominic Mysterio, JD McDonough, and Finn Balor. And then it turns out their special guest was John Cena.
Oh, that's awesome.
So Cena runs out, in the middle of like they're doing their match, and they're like, "Who's this third person supposed to be?" And then Cena's music hits.
That's great.
Yeah.
And the crowd goes wild.
Yeah.
He comes out. All three of them, The Miz, R-Truth, and Cena, are in the ring. They're all doing attitude adjustments at the same time. They're
Uh-huh.
all doing the 5 moves of doom that John Cena has.
Uh-huh.
Like that, all three of them are simultaneously doing them. It's so silly. Cena worked for maybe 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Of course. yeah.
Jumped out
You
there,
can't
did
get
his
hurt.
moves,
Yeah.
and then was like, "I'm out."
Yep.
And the crowd fucking loved it. It was
Yeah.
as silly as it was. People, and you're right, like people love R-Truth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they were just like so happy that this guy got over,
Mhm.
because I mean, he's been in the business
For a
for
long time.
No.
yeah. 20 years,
Yeah.
something like that. Like, it's insane.
Yeah. And I love how the crowd responds to him when he does the John Cena. He
Oh,
can't
yeah.
say it.
Yeah.
He does it, and everybody's like, "You can't say it."
Yeah.
Oh, it's so great.
It's
dude.
funny because,
Yeah.
he's got his own, like, special moves and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
He doesn't do them anymore. He
Yeah.
just does Cena's
Cena's,
moves.
yeah.
And people
And the
go
crowd,
nuts.
the crowd loves it.
Yeah.
And when we went to the Monday Night Raw one, he did it
Yeah.
before he body slammed somebody,
my
and
God,
everybody,
so
the whole
good.
crowd got into
Yeah.
it. Yeah. It's so much fun, man.
He's a great
Yeah.
entertainer.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
is. Yeah, he is. Yeah, it was, and like I said, it was so good to see him get the belt because, like, and I said, like he you could see he got emotional, like it was,
Yeah.
like it was real, like he's like it's validation for him because he's been
Yeah.
for so many years, and now the crowd loves
what,
him. you know?
like, the belts are, like you said, like, it's not really about being top dog or anything. It's
Right.
like it's recognition of how much you've done for this company.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
So it's
Yeah.
like R-Truth, a guy who's a workhorse, has
Yeah.
been there for so long, and the
Mhm.
Miz as well has been there since the
Yeah, a long
Attitude
time,
Era,
yeah.
or not the Attitude Era. Sorry, the Ruthless Aggression Era. Like, both those guys
Mhm.
really deserve those tag team
Yeah.
belts.
Right. Yeah, it's fun, and it's like when we were for WrestleMania and then Monday Night Raw and just watching it
Mhm.
last night. I mean, this past weekend WrestleMania, it feels like it's a community
Yeah.
within the
Oh, yeah.
stadium, which
Yeah,
is great.
absolutely.
So people are
Mm.
just united just for those couple hours.
Yeah, you
You
won't
know?
see rioting or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's funny, like, for such a violent show, like, you won't see like fans outside beating each other up, like,
Right,
at
exactly.
no.
yeah,
compared to like a Dodger game or
yeah,
something
exactly.
like
Because
that.
they all
Yeah.
have, they have a great time with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, it's fun to be like back into it.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
good time to be back into
It
it,
is,
too.
yeah,
Like,
for
it's
sure.
some of the best wrestling as well is
Mhm.
coming out right now.
Yeah.
Like the
Yeah,
moves
yeah.
that people are doing, and the company, because Triple H is now in control.
Mm-hmm.
And he, coming from a wrestling standpoint, he knows, like, okay, don't overwork these guys.
Right.
Make sure they have time off when they're injured.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
make sure they're taken care of.
Yeah.
Compared to, like, when McMahon ran it and would run these guys ragged and just give them pills, give them pilled up so they go to the next show.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Well, we were talking about this when we were watching WrestleMania this past weekend.
Mhm.
Somebody said, like, it's good. We don't see these huge burly guys anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and I was like, yeah, McMahon probably has something to do with that. You know, because he was like, you should probably take some steroids to get bigger.
Oh, yeah.
Get bigger. You know, here's some stuff.
Right.
You know.
Oh, yeah.
So like that.
All those guys died young.
Exactly.
You know?
The heart attacks.
issues. Yeah.
Yep. Exactly. And now you just see guys that are, some are still really big, but most of the guys like Cody Rhodes are just, they just look like
In
just
good shape.
regular in shape guys. It's not, they're not these huge. And I guarantee you, if Cody Rhodes had come up in the Vince McMahon area in the 90s, he'd probably be this huge guy, you know, this muscle, you know.
Or he would
dude.
just be a mid-carder forever because he's so small. Because McMahon wanted big guys to be on the top belt. Right? Like, that's why you get your you know, Hulk Hogan's and Ultimate Warriors, who can't really wrestle.
Yeah.
Like, I love me some Ultimate Warrior, but you watch those matches, you're like, oh, he's got 3 moves and then he's gassed out, you know?
Yeah.
So that's why they're all like squash matches where it's like they don't last more than a minute.
Yeah.
Like, we watched Cody and Roman Reigns fight for 45 minutes.
It was amazing, dude. Like, and
that
it's just
stamina is insane.
You know, and it's just like they're doing these massive moves. Yeah, and what I love about the sport, the entertainment is that they like to take their breaks.
Oh yeah, there's a lot
like they're hurt.
Yeah.
Like they slam each other,
hanging on the outside.
Yeah, they slam each other and they kind of both lay there for a second, like I'm really hurt, but really they're just catching their breath.
Oh yeah, okay, let's go through the next set.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
and then they get up and they do it again, and they go for like 5 minutes, and they're down for another 3 minutes, just kind of catching their breath. But no, I'm hurt. You know, which is great. But but it's still they're still going for so long, you know, and it's just like to be as in shape as they are, to go that long with no water, you know, they're barely catching their breath, and to do these crazy moves, it's just like it's
even
it's
boxing matches take breaks in between each round,
exactly,
right?
Yeah, and they drink water.
Same with UFC.
Same with UFC, exactly.
You don't see that in wrestling,
right? It's
there's no bell for everyone to go to the corner.
Yeah, exactly.
Isn't that weird?
It's an amazing thing to watch. It's to see what the human body can do. What was that guy that they're launching off the ropes?
Oh
like
yeah.
What's his name?
You talking about the?
He gets on the rope in his team like
right. That was with the luchador
the
match, right?
Yes. He goes flying through the air.
Johnny Wild, I think his name is.
I think so. And he knocks into 3 or 4 guys.
I mean that was like a 20-foot.
Yes,
jump.
dude. And like I watched it, and I was like,
crazy.
holy shit! Like, what the human body can do is amazing.
And the trust that takes of like, I am launching my body. There's no brakes.
There's nothing.
There's no parachute.
Yeah, there's nothing.
I'm literally just going to fly 20 feet. You better be there to catch me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
'Cause if not, and it's going to hurt them and it's going to hurt me.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? There's no way it's not going to hurt.
Yeah, man. And it's just the physicality it takes for them to do that kind of thing, but know what to do so that nobody gets hurt, you know?
Yeah.
So their heads aren't cracking into each other or like bones are breaking, you know?
Well, and they're very good now. Like you know, there's stories like you can watch podcasts with like Goldberg or like Kurt Angle very famously fought an entire match with a concussion. He didn't remember being in the match.
Wow.
Because he smacked his head early in the match, and then just was doing, and like basically the other guy was like, all right, I'm gonna drop you now. I'm gonna do that, and they did the whole match while he was concussed.
Holy shit!
They don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
You know, there was a botch a few weeks ago, whatever, when Ricochet hit his head, you know, and they cut the match. So like, we're done. Like that's it. Like they are taking care of these guys now.
Well, again, it's Triple H knowing where they're coming from, and being like, we can't push these guys to the point that they're going to die.
And you know, it's a lot. I'm sure it's a lot of ego as well. Of like, oh, I want to keep going. It's like, no, you idiot. Like, you want the whole point is so you can keep going in next month. You know, like,
exactly.
You know, like stuff with CM Punk like tearing his tricep at Royal Rumble, and then. If you watch that Rumble, there's a point he's like, I think he throws Drew McIntyre off the rope, and then he immediately turns to a ref, and he's like, I'm hurt, kind of thing. And you see the ref has a, earworm or, could talk to the guys backstage, and they had to change the ending of that whole match You know, I don't think Cody was supposed to win Royal Rumble. I think CM Punk was supposed to win.
That's what I've heard too. Yeah,
You know, I
That's what
really
I've heard
feel
too,
like
yeah.
that was supposed to be the angle.
Yeah.
Because then you would have got Seth versus CM Punk.
Mm-hmm.
Because that rivalry was building. And then you'd have Roman versus The Rock, you know? And then when Cody wins, because obviously someone's got to win the match,
Mm-hmm.
and you can't see CM Punk with a torn arm, like, winning.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's why things pivoted. But then they were like, oh, no, we're still going to do Roman and The Rock. And then people fucking lost their minds.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's when wrestlers were like hitting each other into the tables or into the stands, you know, knocking them, and you could see them like gripping each other's hands, like you know, that's a communication. You're so good, you know. I like that because it's all about safety, obviously, you know.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Well, like because one of the long matches that I remember back in the day was Bret Hart versus Stone Cold.
Oh, the blood
submission
from a stone match.
Yeah. And the
I had the T-shirt with Stone Cold's face just covered in blood, like
and that was a really long match, and I think
did he actually cut himself?
Yeah, he bladed himself. Yeah, that was back.
But didn't he
he
actually pass out though, or was that he?
Because it was an Iron Man match, and I think it was an I Quit match, right?
Yeah, so and he didn't quit, he like passed out,
and like because he was like in a
whatever I forget the move.
Figure 4 lock or something like that, and you could just see the blood like squirting. It was pretty brutal.
But did he actually pass out though?
I think he did.
Oh, okay.
I think so. I don't know.
So
I have to rewatch that match.
But I think sometimes even those moments are necessary to make that character loved or appreciated more. Like so, like people know that Stone Cold won't quit.
The whole like when he came up with the
316
Austin 316 line, he just had fresh stitches in his mouth.
Oh, really?
Like it was because it was Survivor Series or King of the Ring. And he was in the ring. He got clocked, like ripped his fucking mouth open, went to the hospital, got sewed up, and then came right back to do that little press interview at the end.
Oh, wow.
And it was the Jake the Snake match. Yeah. So
I just think
there's less of that now.
No, and that is a good thing. But I think sometimes
he's also had like his neck like fused like 3 times.
You've heard his vertebrae in his neck.
Yeah. Which was pretty bad.
Which is pretty much took him.
He always comes out with like 2 braces on his knees too.
Yeah,
like, Jesus, this guy's gone through the ringer.
But I would say like though, when you see characters like that, and then you have the choreography in the ring that tells a good story, then you can really, or you could find that character that you do like. So I have, and like you'll always maybe eventually find someone who hits that for me, but I haven't yet, so I'll see. But
Stone Cold's your guy, though.
I mean, for right now, still at the moment, he's the guy. So yeah.
I mean, it's an exciting time, and again, I wasn't following Cody Rhodes' story for very long, but when he won, it was just like you could feel the energy in that place. Everybody was like, "Oh man, he deserved this," you know.
Yeah.
And to see the announcer like choke up herself and get emotional when she announced them as the winner, it was powerful.
It's a long road to get there. 2 years of storytelling, they're finally paying off.
Right. But I mean, WrestleMania it's great, and I'm excited to see more of wrestling in general. We should move on to Kong versus Godzilla. So speaking of which,
we get to see a monkey suplex.
Monkeys, what'd you guys? We all went to go see it. What did you guys think of it? Chad, you look like you're pensive about something.
Pensive? Oh no. I would say that movie was just like a lot of dumb fun. It's exactly surprisingly, I enjoyed what I saw, but also like the humans didn't bother me as much. Weirdly enough, I wasn't like, all right, okay.
They were less part of the story than
they were, movies. But like even when they were on screen, at least some or one of them were fun enough. Yes. Like Dan Stevens, I thought was a great addition.
Dan Stevens knew he was in, like, he's the character that knew he was in a movie. He was just like hamming it up, like crazy.
He's just having a good time with it.
Yeah,
he's like, whatever. I'm being paid to be in a monkey movie. With a lizard. Sure, why not?
Well, like it just the fact that there's a veterinarian for kaiju and stuff like
Right.
that. So
That shit was hilarious.
though I was like, all right, this is almost like a cartoon.
That
now.
cat came from Downton Abbey, by the way.
Yep.
Which is a very
He's great in The Guest. I don't know if you've
Yeah,
seen that movie.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
so good.
I haven't seen either of those. I saw them only through Legion, so
Oh, right.
That's why I was like-
in
I forgot
Legion,
about
too.
that, yeah.
but
also, Eurovision Song Contest. He plays the Russian singer in that. He's hilarious.
on what?
The movie Eurovision Song Contest.
Oh, I've never heard of it.
No,
It's
yeah, I know what it
Rachel
is.
McAdams and Will Ferrell play Icelandic singers who have a song.
Oh
in
yes,
Eurovision. Yeah.
Yes, yes,
It's
yes.
fun. It's
Yeah.
a
All
good
right,
one.
all right,
Check it
I'll
out.
check it out.
That's nice. Yeah,
But the fact that they're going just pretty much full cartoon
full cartoon.
now, I was like, all right, I'm
Yeah.
on board with just the antics that will go,
Yeah.
because I used to tune into the Godzilla cartoon for a bit, and it felt very the same vibe where
Like the '97 cartoon.
yeah,
All
where
right. I know where you're at.
obviously it wasn't the
Kaiju
good
of the Week.
Godzilla, it was the Godzilla from the 2000 movie with Matthew Broderick.
Yes.
But still, in the same vein, they would call on Godzilla to help fight whatever kaiju.
Actually, it was Godzilla's child. It wasn't the Godzilla from the movie because Godzilla
How
died
dare you
in
get
that
wrong,
movie.
Chad? How dare you
Actually,
get that wrong?
Actually,
I forgot there was those raptor eggs left over from. So
and the actual Godzilla from the movie actually does come back in the cartoon as Mecha Godzilla.
really,
Yeah, they,
I must have not got
they
too
do
far.
like a cybernetic Godzilla part.
Oh wow! I must have not got there.
Check
but
that out.
I guess I'm gonna have to revisit the old cartoon.
The only thing I remember from the Matthew Broderick Godzilla was the Taco Bell commercials with the "Here lizard, lizard, lizard" with the little chihuahua.
You
That's
don't
the only thing I
remember
remember.
That was
the
a good
Puff Daddy
tie-in.
song? Come with me.
Oh, God, there was a Puff Daddy
song? We have to cut this out.
There was a Puff Daddy song for that.
Yeah, with
I
Jimmy
think-
Page doing the guitar.
Or
I think we're getting canceled just by bringing him
Yeah,
up.
exactly.
What do you mean?
Yeah,
We're
Oh,
no,
of course it
because
was.
we're not calling him by his actual name. We're saying Puff Daddy. We're not
Right,
saying
right.
maybe
You
he
know.
invited Godzilla over to his place.
Oh,
Oh, jeez.
no.
Cancel
boy.
Godzilla.
Oh no.
Poor Godzilla.
Poor Godzilla.
Oh,
That's why he's so mad.
Because Diddy likes to party, and you got to tell him no. Cat Williams. We got way off topic.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we did.
Oh, so so the plot of the movie is that there's
There's no plot
There's
in
no
the
plot,
movie.
but-
What are you talking about?
the somewhat plot is that there's another group of apes that
Uh-huh.
wants to take over the world, and,
Uh-huh.
and
Well,
Kong and Godzilla
I would
stop
say
them.
it's one Kong that wants to take
That's right,
over.
it's one
The
Kong.
rest
Well,
of them are
he's
just
got-
following.
he's got his boys
They're,
who help him out.
they're following orders.
Yeah,
He's
I
got
mean,
his
he's
hedge
got his
Kongs.
I mean, like,
Hench Kong?
I mean,
Kongs, yeah.
whoever's leading them, they're gonna follow because they're
I guess
lesser
so.
Kongs.
I guess so.
They're not as strong Kongs.
I would tell you what. I'm a little mad at myself.
Why?
Why are you mad?
I'm mad that I got to see Godzilla -1 first.
I was just about to say, yeah.
Because if this was going straight off the last
Yeah.
Kong versus Godzilla movie, this
Mhm.
is a great sequel to like it's.
Yeah.
But then you watch like -1 and you're like,
It was
shit,
very
that shit's
jarring.
Fucking art.
It was very jarring to see
beautiful.
Godzilla -1 and then go to this.
And then
'Cause
go
you're
to
like,
this,
yeah.
and it's like, let's
you're
put
like,
a mech
what?
arm on fucking Kong.
Well,
not?
it's two different.
Yeah.
It's two different. You gotta
I
separate.
know.
Oh, and they also
It's
fixed
ju-
his tooth.
And
You know?
it's so ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I get like, okay, you can have like Godzilla and Batman. I feel like the same thing. You can have the campy versions,
Yeah.
and you can have the serious
Yeah.
version, right? You can have the
Uh-huh.
Nolan, and you can have the Schumacher.
Sure.
Mhm.
And it's the same with this. Like you can have the beautiful introspective version that is -1,
Yeah.
and then you can have a monkey get fucking slammed by
Hitting-
a lizard.
Monkey hitting
Yeah.
another monkeys with the monkey.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. You can have it both ways, I guess.
I mean, that in itself.
it's funny because this is coming off the 2014 movie, the Godzilla movie from 2014.
Gareth Edwards.
The Gareth, yeah,
Yeah.
that was such a nice, like contemplative,
I actually like that movie.
and
I
then
think it was
things
well
just,
done.
and even
Yeah.
Skull Island, I really dug.
Yeah.
And then now they're just gone full on crazy pants.
Which
they don't
was-
give a shit.
Yeah, the whatever that Millie Bobby Brown one was. That, that's
Destroy
God of
Destroy All
Monsters?
Monsters. God of Monsters.
yeah,
Yeah.
that one was just. I was like, okay. I mean, that's when he fights King Kong, right?
No, that was the
Jeez,
one
I
prior when he
remember.
fights King
Ghidorah.
Yeah, right.
And then the next one.
That's right. That's
is where Kong
is
and
Kong
him-
fights Godzilla. Yeah,
Yeah.
and then Mechagodzilla.
And
shows up.
Mechagodzilla.
that's right.
shows up.
Oh God.
Yeah,
just-
it's
yeah,
just
it's-
it's off the
but if
fucking
you,
rails.
well,
Yeah.
no, I mean,
at
if
that
you,
point.
all right, if you look at the old films, it
Yeah.
does go off the.
Yeah, no,
Rails.
absolutely.
Of course it does.
Yeah,
Yeah, of course it does.
You fucking space Godzilla come down.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You
I
have,
forgot about that,
you have
yeah.
baby Godzilla. You
got
have
baby
you know,
Godzilla,
there's so many absurd things that
Right. And these are definitely following suit.
yeah,
from
and
that.
I was
Yeah.
like, okay, this is the route we're going, and that's
Yeah.
fine. But like, I will agree with you. The first Godzilla film is so far apart from these because one, I noticed this while watching the movie. I was like, I think they got Godzilla's measurements completely off.
Yeah.
Completely.
Because
yeah.
in Gareth Edwards, he was like towering.
Huge,
He was
yeah.
like ridiculously
Yeah.
towering
Well,
over
because
everything.
this Godzilla fits inside the Roman Coliseum.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
Which is
curl
like
up
it's
into
not
it.
that big.
No,
that
no.
thing is not that big.
But
Everybody thinks
also-
it's huge. It's not. You know?
Also, when Godzilla is fighting Kong in Egypt, like they're barely over the pyramids. I'm like, what the hell?
they're not even over because
Yeah.
King Kong uses one of the pyramids as
I
cover.
know, and
So
like,
it's like they're not even as tall as the pyramids.
Yeah.
part of me is like, all right, that's fine for that's fine for Kong, because I mean, technically, Kong,
Yeah.
the original Kong, would climb Empire State Building and
Yeah,
fall.
yeah, he's
Right,
on-
but
If
he's
he's too
supposed to
big-
be growing though.
He's like
Well, yeah,
100
and
meters,
if he's growing, then yeah, he should be much
taller than the
much
pyramids,
taller
right,
than the
at
pyramids.
least, yeah.
But yeah, so I think jumping from Hollow Earth to the real world, they can't keep the sizes correct.
Yeah,
True.
that's the one thing you lose scale in Hollow Earth.
Yeah.
Because everything's so big there
Right.
that you don't really feel like the sense of size.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and especially because there's like no real horizon line. You're just there's mountains above you and a mountain below you kind
Yeah.
of situation. So you don't feel like these creatures are any bigger than
Yeah.
normal creatures.
Yeah.
So I would like to have seen more stuff on the surface. More, I mean, you do get a little bit when they're in Brazil, where they're like
Yeah.
fighting on the beach, and you see how
Yeah.
small the people are in comparison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but there's not enough of it.
Because
Because
yeah, like when they're fighting next to those buildings and whatnot, like Kong and the Scar King, were barely hovering. I mean, their heads were barely over the
Yeah.
buildings. So I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
all right, well, they're just
They're not bigger than
they're very small.
apartment buildings.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I was just
yeah.
like, all right, well, they're not really a threat. But like even so, with them, Godzilla should have been towering over.
Yeah.
But now Godzilla's like the same height as King Kong. I'm like, no, that's not right at all.
Exactly.
It's completely
Exactly.
wrong. So,
Well, I don't remember the perspective of their heights in the last one.
well,
when
they
fought.
messed it up in there too.
Yeah.
It was a little on par. I was like, no,
Yeah.
it's completely.
well,
yeah.
that's why they did Skull Island in the 60s, 70s, so that way they could scale, like say that he grew.
He grew.
And that
Right.
that is perfectly
makes sense.
fine. That
Yeah.
made sense.
Yeah.
But when they got to Godzilla versus Kong, the previous one, the size of Godzilla did not match the previous film
No.
that he was in. So
Yeah.
I was like, "What are you guys doing here? You're losing track."
Yeah,
But I was like, if you stick with this, fine. Just don't. I don't want to see him bigger than a bunch of other like cityscapes later down the road because like he's not that size now. So you have him sleeping in the Coliseum. That doesn't make sense.
right.
Yeah, he looks so small when he's
Yeah.
in there because it's like again the Roman Coliseum is not that big.
Yeah,
So
He's all curled up.
yeah, he's all
Yeah.
curled up and it didn't make any sense. But yeah,
he
it
jumps
was,
off of Gibraltar
Yeah,
to dive in the water. I was like, he should be able to like just step down and he's
Right,
in the
yeah.
water. But I was like, yeah.
Yeah, I I had fun watching it, but it was just like I went in there knowing what it was. It's just
Yeah.
a dumb monster movie, and
Yeah,
and so I wasn't like you said, coming off of Godzilla -1. I was like, there's nothing. The Garrett Edwards Godzilla movie
Yeah.
and Godzilla -1 are the ones that I'm like,
I
holy
feel like
shit,
those two
were-
really stand well
exactly.
together.
Those are like my Godzilla movies.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The other ones are kind of like, it's just
Yeah.
dumb fun.
I got you.
But
yeah. What
it's-
did you guys think of Scar King as the villain and also the frost lizard?
Yeah, that didn't make. I mean,
Like obviously they
So
wanted
there's
something to
obviously
kind
is-
of parallel.
again, dumb monster movie, but like
Yeah.
he's down there because there's somehow he got trapped down there with his
Because
people.
humans. Because Mothra
humans-
put up those cocoons that
Right.
were like
and didn't
Well,
hiding the portals.
right.
well,
There's portals of everybody.
yeah,
Godzilla like made them fall deeper into Hollow Earth,
Yeah.
and then he like caved it in. So
Right.
and then
Right.
Mothra like closed like any of the other portals leading up and stuff
Right.
like that.
So
when it started breaking open because Kong was searching for fellow apes, you know, and then that started, you know, them to find their way out of there, and obviously shit goes down with the Monarch crew.
Yeah.
Like they get attacked by the Scar King and his goons.
yeah, I mean, it just, you know, it said that they were trapped down there, but it seems like they could leave pretty easily. And then they were just like in there, like these lava pits, and he just has his people moving rocks around. Or
I don't know what they
his
were
crew.
doing moving the rocks.
I thought they were like mining for something, but it just
Nope.
looked like they were
That's just what
moving
they
rocks.
do.
Yeah,
Hey,
and then he had a crystal that could control the.
The crystal on the whip. For
I-
It was like
I mean,
but it was
I
like
like
a
that.
vertebrae.
yeah.
No,
whatever.
it was a whip. I think it was like a previous like lizard thing that he
Spine,
killed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like some kind of spine.
And then he
Yeah.
took something from the ice creature to control it with. Which, hey,
Yeah, whatever.
Never explained.
No, I mean,
Whatever.
if you're making this zany of a movie, I don't need that much explanation.
Yeah, yeah.
But the thing was, what I found interesting is Kong was not an ape anymore. He was pretty much like
Oh yeah, he's
the characteristics of a human.
he's making traps. He's doing
but no,
the
but-
whole like
but
Home
not even-
Alone situation.
not even that though. Like he's never walking on all fours.
Oh yeah,
That's
yeah.
right.
He's
yeah.
always on his two back feet,
That's
and
right,
then
yeah.
he's like plopping an axe
Yeah.
on his shoulder, like and then he's
Time
making
to
all
go to
these
work.
faces, like I'm
Yeah.
very.
He's got a really cool beard now.
yeah, he's and then like
And then he can sign. He can do American Sign Language.
well, no, that was previously with the girl.
That was
and
established.
That was established way back
Sure.
then.
And
Sure.
And
you
as
know
we've
what?
seen in all ape movies, all apes know sign language.
Yeah.
So
That's
You
true.
never seen Congo?
Coco.
Yeah,
Coco the
Congo.
Ape, that's true.
or what's
Mean
the Mighty
Lady.
Joe,
Yeah.
right? Something Mighty Joe.
Yeah,
Or-
yeah, we can
Mighty
teach
Joe
gorillas.
Young.
yeah.
We teach
Yeah.
gorillas all the time.
Yeah.
Amy from a Congo.
Sigourney Weaver in the Gorillas in the Mist or whatever it's called.
they can't sign.
Yeah, they sign in there.
They can't
They
sign.
sign. They do stuff.
They
No, but
text
they-
now.
Amy from the movie Kong. She can
yeah,
sign.
yeah,
Yeah.
Amy wants green drop drink.
yeah. There you go.
Remember that?
Well, I can't wait till she's in.
That'll be the sequel. Right
That'd be
there.
great.
Congo meets Kong.
But the fact that like even Scar King, he's like, who's this guy?
Yeah,
type
yeah,
of thing. And I was
yeah,
like, but the fact that it was so cheesy like that,
Yeah.
I was getting into it. I was like, okay, this is silly and stupid fun. Of just like because he had to prove that he's
Right.
evil, so he's like,
Yeah.
and laughing and like,
Yeah, they give him
know.
like King Louis vibes.
yeah.
He's the
it's
king of the swingers.
Yeah, he even kind of looked like him a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I really liked his
He had like
weapon.
weird,
It was
like
interesting.
glowing eyes that I thought like, oh, he's gonna have some kind of like power set. And
That's what I thought.
Really not.
Well, no, I think his eyes were a result of just being in the dark for so long. Like his
Okay.
eyes adjusted to whatever. I mean, I don't know. Obviously, the science does not have to exist.
I like
there for
yeah,
anything.
going
does
up to
not.
the surface,
It
he
does
should have been
not.
like, the goddamn sun.
Yeah, but I mean, I did like that moment. It reminded me of Mighty Max, where Skullmaster escapes from his entombed from under Earth or whatever.
You
that
all
place
know
was.
this part.
Yeah, Mighty Max, you know.
Mighty Max.
And then he's like, the sun, you know. But
Exactly the same.
exactly the same. But I enjoyed like the fights with Scar King. It was just very different from because like Kong never had a villain. Obviously,
Sure.
the humans were Kong's
Yeah.
villain.
It was Beauty that killed the beast.
and we killed him right off the bat. So you know, because no one messes with the Air Force.
or the Empire State. No one fucks with New York.
New York City.
Hey, you ape. We're going to bring you here against your will. Don't you fuck around with us.
No bananas for you.
I'm just remembering the Simpsons Treehouse of Horror when Homer's the
Yeah.
ape and he climbs up like takes like 4 steps up the building and just falls off.
But yeah, no, they were all had human characteristics.
Yeah.
So technically, I think that was their way out of following the humans a bit more by making
Giving them some more personality.
Yeah, like
giving
even
Baby
Godzilla
Kong.
had some kind of like eyes, at least his eyes and maybe his mouth kind of. Gave a small
it's
reaction
like
there.
one bit when Godzilla's like, rah, like
Yeah, but I thought it was interesting that the ice creature wasn't evil at all. It was just being
just
forced
being controlled.
And I was like, okay. not every monster's like he's like, yeah, no, I just want to chill down under in Hollow Earth, man. Like, why are we doing this? But it was cool that he was bigger than Godzilla, although it was just like still the sizes of everybody. I was just, like, and one thing that was not like, I don't know how Monarch doesn't just get disavowed by the government or because when they do get up to the top and fights happen, like that last fight, millions of people died.
No, just in general,
everyone in Rio is dead.
Yeah,
like just that ice beam just going across the.
Godzilla just walking in Venice,
but
they're like, just let him be. No,
I was like, what the fuck? Yeah,
but like
there's a scene where he's swimming through a river and he's just knocking bridges out.
Oh, the
with
canals.
His fins.
Yeah.
And there's you can clearly see cars on. And I'm like,
he just took out a whole family.
All those people are dead.
Yeah.
But there's a clear line. There's a clear line in the movie where the apes were the protectors of humanity.
Yes.
And when Kong's fighting Scar King up above, and then Scar King lassos the roof of an apartment building.
No, just an entire apartment building.
No, it's the top part of it.
It's basically the entire thing. Yeah.
Well, no, it's the top half.
Yeah,
we get
it's basically
you
the
guys
entire
are
thing.
arguing over the same thing.
Yeah. It's not the entire thing.
It's basically the entire thing.
I debate you on this. We'll watch the clip.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. It's basically the entire thing.
It's the roof of the building. It's the top 2-3 floors of the building.
It's more than that.
No, I wouldn't say that. But anyway, as I was saying, that's thrown at him, and then Kong just punches it.
Yeah.
No, not even thinking about it.
Yeah, no.
Like the people inside.
Oh,
and he's just obliterated like everybody. So it's just like,
I'm sure people evacuated.
No, sure. There was no time.
They had 10 minutes. They had 10 minutes. Yeah.
There's like the amount of space they cover in like 1 to 2 steps. Most of those people are done.
Oh yeah.
So I was just like, all right, well, you didn't. I mean, you saved, I guess, the world, but you killed a bunch of people.
Yeah, sure.
I mean,
and destroyed a city. More than one.
Yeah, I guess the Monarch is great insurance because they did promote that. If you get your kaiju insurance,
it was a big part of the Monarch series.
Yeah. So
did you watch that?
No, I watched the first episode and I was like, no, this isn't for me.
It's so funny because that show is so serious.
Yeah.
Like for the most part, it's a really good show.
Yeah,
I'd really recommend it. But it's done very earnestly, very much like the 2014 movie. Like it's in the same vein as that, and everyone's like, "Well, this leads right into this movie," and you're like, "No, it doesn't.
No, at all.
This is like some mirror universe shit, man."
Yeah, that show was
other than like, okay, so this is how Monarch established like outposts down in Hollow Earth.
Yeah,
like that's the only real connection.
It's I tried. It was one for me.
It's Kurt Russell, man. You got to give Kurt Russell.
I do. Kurt Russell is
Kurt Russell is in there. That's true. Yeah.
And his son.
Yeah, that's true.
Playing him.
True.
Yeah.
Or no? Is it him or
it is?
He's younger
him.
It
Playing younger him in the 50s.
Yeah. Kong, Godzilla. Check it out. I guess
New Empire. It's Kong
just turn your brain off.
I don't understand the title.
I don't get it either. Yeah.
Kong X Godzilla New Empire.
New Empire. Yeah.
Is it semicolon New Empire?
I don't know. I don't get it either.
Or
what's the New Empire?
What's the X?
I don't.
They should just say Godzilla and
like
Kong versus.
I get no because they can't say the X because it looks cooler. That's why.
Yeah. Well, you know what?
It's like Batman
it was probably
Superman.
Yeah. It was probably called Frozen Empire, but when Ghostbusters had their title, they were fuck.
Yeah.
So let's.
This is the year of empires.
A lot of empires going
on.
A lot of empires rising and falling.
Yeah.
So check it out.
Or not.
Or it's up to you. Just turn your
brain. I think it's a rental. It's a good.
Just take your brain out of your head and just go in there and
check it out and message Stan all your thoughts on the movie.
Yeah.
Engage Stan on the because he'll love to talk to you more about the movie.
There's also a part where the military fired on Godzilla because he was at a nuclear power. I was like, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you doing that?
Oh, when he was like sucking all the power
I was
up.
like, what's that going to do?
I did like that. He went after that sea dragon thing.
Yeah,
the Arctic, and he to power himself up.
Yeah,
I like that.
That was
like,
cool. That was all right.
But then again,
he knew there
like,
was a big enough threat, so he's powering himself up.
But other than like changing color, they didn't really show like any of his power really changing.
They did the shockwave.
He did that in the last movie. Though.
Yeah,
he did that.
He didn't do it in the previous one.
When Ken Watanabe blows up the bomb next to Godzilla,
in Gods of
Monsters, he has that wave
yes
power form.
Was it glowing all through his cracks?
It was.
It was,
And
yeah.
it was like
Okay.
red hot.
Yeah.
Ah.
I hit my fist on the table because there's a part when he's doing that, when he's battling that sea monster and taking the energy from it, whatever, where the submarine, they have a submarine that's like monitoring everything.
Oh yeah.
And it turns on its headlights, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, submarine's got no damn headlights.
There's no windows.
What are you
Why would
doing?
you need a headlight? Yeah.
It's all radar. Like,
I know.
whatever. Anyway.
Well, no, because when
That's funny.
when he up
Anyway.
periscopes, he's
No,
got to be
no,
able to see.
no,
He's
no.
like,
No.
hey,
But the
it's-
headlight is
headlights on the
underwater.
front. There's no headlights on the
trust
periscope.
me, it's like high beams.
no.
It covers.
It's just like, yeah, it's
We got to see.
No.
Sir, we don't.
It's just like when he took half of the building, right? Yeah, exactly.
It wasn't half a building. I'm just saying, it wasn't half of the
It
building.
was- no.
I've seen the clip.
I've seen
I've
it.
seen
I
the
saw
clip.
it too. I saw
I've seen it multiple
I saw
times.
what you saw. Yeah.
I don't think you did.
I
I think you were probably reaching in your bucket for
I'm pretty sure I
popcorn,
did. I'm
and
pretty
you
sure I
caught.
did.
Tweet in your answers if it was
Yeah,
half the
tweet-
building or more.
Was that the movie theater where those girls sat next to us, and they were like, and you were like, you turned
Hold
over,
on.
you're like, these are our friends are sitting. What the fuck are you doing? Was that the movie theater?
No, we saw a different movie for that one. I think.
Was it?
Yeah, I don't remember what.
I'm pretty
movie
sure.
it
I'm
was.
pretty sure that was it.
Yeah, I did.
No, because we were seeing it with Sam and
Yeah, because we knew
And
that's where they were
Watson.
sitting.
no, it was Frozen Empire.
Frozen Empire. You're right.
Yeah.
See, if you got that wrong, you got the building wrong, and you can't prove me right.
It's Frozen Empire, not New Empire.
Yeah. See, I got that. That's where you got confused.
What do you mean? No, I didn't
go,
get
thank you.
confused at all. I knew the difference.
Fucking debate.
Another monkey related movie, is
Yes.
Monkey Man.
Now we're talking about a
Yeah.
good movie.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Uh
Go
oh.
ahead.
Okay.
What'd you think of
I fucking love
yeah,
this
yeah.
movie.
No, it's a good movie.
I thought it was very well done.
Yeah, well,
The action sequences were very good. Knowing the story kind of behind the scenes stuff, like finding out after the fact, like after I saw it, I did a little deep dive. This movie was made for $10 million.
mm-hmm. Oh yeah, it looks very looks
like,
great though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it does.
Cinematography is amazing.
Half the it was filmed. This is like one of the last movies to be filmed during the pandemic. This is like they filmed this in like 2020.
Really?
Yeah, in
Oh, shit.
Indonesia
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
because they
Really?
couldn't film it in India
Oh, that
because
was
of the
India.
restrictions.
Yeah.
I think, and Dev Patel, of course, wrote it, directed it,
Mhm.
and started it. Didn't want to direct it, didn't want to write it, but no one else wanted to do it. Like
He didn't want to write it. I thought he wrote it and then.
well,
wanted to sell
I'm sorry, he wrote
Yeah.
it, yes, but he wanted,
He
he
didn't
wanted the guy who did Chappie, Blumfeld, to direct it. He wanted Blumfeld to come in and direct
Yeah,
it.
he probably should have. Yeah.
Yeah, but it didn't happen.
Yeah.
He got the choreographer. I'm trying to remember what movie. The guy who did all the fight choreography. It was like a Matrix guy or someone came in.
Chad Stahelski?
No, I forgot who he got. He got someone in. He only stayed for a few weeks because of the pandemic and everything. So everything kind of within they were doing the fight scenes
Mhm.
and in the kitchen fight
Mm-hmm.
he broke his hand and his foot in the fight. Yeah,
Oh wow.
and then got pink eye through most because
Jeez.
in the bathroom fight where he's
Uh-huh.
fighting and he's in that inch of water.
Yeah.
It was seriously dirty ass water.
Oh shit.
And it got him pink eye for so they had to shut down production. So this movie
You really suffered through this movie.
really
huh?
could
Oh, man.
almost did not happen.
Yeah.
That being said, I love the story.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a straight up revenge tale.
Mm-hmm.
I love that this is a character who, we'll just get into it real quick.
Yeah.
He's a character who loses his mom at a young age
Uh-huh.
and is set on this tale of revenge. He's doing this kind of Fight Club pro wrestling thing on the
It's like a bare
side,
knuckle kind
like
of
a
thing.
bare knuckle
Yeah.
where he is basically getting paid to lose
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
because he's playing this the Beast ape character who gets beat up all the time. So he's constantly losing and losing, and then he comes up with a plan to take out the guys that killed his family.
Right.
And what I love about this movie is, it's a very cool tale of him kind of working his way up through this criminal organization.
Mhm.
And it's very much done like the Raid of
Yeah.
these are the different levels and layers, right? You
Yeah.
start with the kitchen layer and you work your way up, and it gets more and more crazy as you go up. And he's doing stuff like that's to like help him, like he, you know, like stealing the purse to get him a job, and then like he's like, I'll do anything, I'll start at the bottom and work my way up, and then, you know, and like even like how do I because there's like metal detectors, so how do I smuggle a weapon in?
Right.
I'll befriend a dog, you know, I'll give food to this dog, and the dog can get through the gateway. I was like, that's brilliant. But then I'm like, oh my god, he's already up to like the level where the guy that killed his mom is at, and he's like, you know, and putting like a little bit of bleach in the cocaine to like get him to go to the bathroom, and then it gets to that fight, and I'm like, oh shit, this is like this happens really quickly.
Yeah, I was like, oh shit, he's already there. Huh?
Yeah. But then everything goes to shit.
Yeah.
Like he
not loses a lot in this movie.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh no, this is a guy who thought he knew the plan, but then could not follow through.
As soon as the plan started, it all fell apart.
He wasn't centered yet. He wasn't ready to complete the mission. And
pull the trigger.
And he also used the gun,
Yeah.
which he ended up not doing in the last one because he felt he didn't need it.
Yeah. I love that. I mean, like, and then you know, and then he's kind of like on the run for a while, like because basically he has no exit strategy.
Yeah.
He's like, I'll just go in and shoot the guy.
The guy who he's going after is the chief of police.
Yeah,
basically, he's the police captain, and he's wrapped up. The police captain is wrapped up with this criminal organization, but it's also like a evil corporation.
It's a political party.
Yeah, it's a political party who is who's being funded by a yogi, it seems.
Yes.
Who also exploits people.
Yeah.
Who also has ties.
Yeah.
Who also has ties with this underworld.
Right.
Who is wrapped up with a police force. So it's like these four different converging forces.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, who are kind of in control of this part of. I think the movie takes place in New Delhi. It's
Mumbai, New Delhi.
Yeah, somewhere around there. So, but it's a powerful organization, powerful entities that he has to deal with in Mumbai or New Delhi, wherever. I think it might be Mumbai, where it's supposed to be taking place. Yeah. And yeah, like you said, he goes up to kill the police captain, and he points a gun at him, and it just goes all. And he barely holds his own. Against
I thought the rest of the movie was, he's going to kill this guy, and then it's going to be him trying to get out of the building.
Yes, yeah.
And the fact that that's not where the story ends, and I thought it was really well fucking thought out and done. You know, and using the myth of the monkey warrior,
the monkey king,
who made
Hanuman.
Thank you, Hanuman. As kind of like a basis for this movie of this creature that was, you know, basically punished by the gods and then became kind of a hero, and you know, and like you see that kind of in his hero journey as well.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And then you get to see, you know, I forgot the third gender, the Indian gender, which is
yes.
I wrote it down.
Yeah, the Ardhanarishvara. I'd fuck that up. Hijra community.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is a real.
Yeah, it's a real thing. Yeah.
It's been around for hundreds of years and have been slowly being exterminated.
They're being persecuted.
Yes.
By like this right wing political party that's slowly taking power.
Yeah.
And they're being beat in the street. They're just because of their. It seems like they're like non-binary. It seems like they're like transgender. It seems, and so that the statue of Shiva
and Krishna, and like the destroyer and the creator,
right?
Yeah.
I love that. And then like they find him after he's he's been pretty beat up on this escape, and they take him in and they they mend his wounds and they give him some psychedelics to kind of figure out his journey, and then the rebuilding of himself and gain that confidence again. And like I love the training sequence where he's beating the bag of rice while the guy's playing the drum,
teaching him the rhythm.
Oh man, it was so good. Yeah. And then him going back kind of like full bore with just like this singular mindset of getting through. I don't know, I loved it.
And then we have there's a point where he leaves the temple that he's been hiding out and training in, and recuperating, healing in, and he leaves a bunch of money because he puts a bunch of money on the monkey man.
Yeah.
On himself. Right?
Yeah, I think that's a good.
And so he leaves a bunch of money for them because they're about to lose the temple because they can't.
Yeah, they were like, we don't have resources.
So he leaves a bunch of money for them, and I thought, oh, that's cool. Like, thanks for your help, and we'll never see them again. And they come in at the last fight when he's surrounded by guys, and he's like, oh shit. You can see like kind of the worry on his face, like, oh shit, I'm about to probably like, this is it. I don't think I can fight all these guys. And they come in. Dressed in full gear,
Shiva gear,
and just start laying waste.
Oh, if you don't think you're gonna see a transgender army with scimitars fucking kicking ass, you will.
They come in and fuck shit up,
and like that bit's beautifully shot. Like you're seeing like the way their armor looks, so good.
There
was some some audible like in the theater I was in when he was like kicking ass like in those sequences. People were like, damn, like it was like. Took it up a notch.
There was a part in the very first movie the very first fight where he's about to shoot the police captain, and one of the police captain's goons is in the bathroom with him, and he's reaching for the gun that he brought.
Yeah.
And Dev Patel's character pulls his legs out from under him, and he slams right into the toilet.
Yeah.
His face first right in the toilet. I was like, oh, the entire theater was like, ooh.
Yeah.
Because he just like completely.
It's got some hard hits, man.
Oh yeah, he just like opens his face. Like, it's pretty. It's pretty brutal. It's a pretty brutal hit. But yeah, I mean, I like the movie a lot. I think that there's a problem when there's a writer, director, and main actor because you kind of get tunnel vision. I think the movie could have probably been like 10, 15 minutes shorter, maybe. But I still thought it was really well done. The part where he's kind of recuperating and training, I kind of felt that dragged a little bit.
Because it slows everything down.
Yeah, it slows everything down, which was fine. And like I get why that character had to go through what he had to go through in order to. Because there's like a very psychedelic moment in there when he's like opening up his chest.
Right. Well, that's straight from the Hanuman.
Right. Exactly from the
story.
From the legend. Yeah. So I was like, okay, I get why he's doing that.
Inner.
Just to find his inner peace, I guess.
Right.
Inner balance.
Reason.
Yeah. So I mean,
he leaves that note as well, like
you
got to know who you are.
Exactly.
Like
yeah. I thought I felt the movie could have been a little shorter, but
for a first time director,
though, I didn't know that he didn't want to direct it.
Yeah,
I think it probably would have been better if another person had taken over because it's just better to have that kind of like that different input. If he wrote it and he's directing it and he's the main actor in it, those. Sometimes it works, it worked with like Dances with Wolves.
Yeah,
Kevin Costner did that.
Mel Gibson.
Oh yeah, with Braveheart.
Mm-hmm.
So it works sometimes. I think it worked in this too, but there are also moments when it feels like it can drag a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
But it was still some of the slow motion things were okay.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, do we really need slow motion in this?
Yeah.
It's like, come on, kind of speed it up a little bit, but. But aside from that, I'm really reaching for some of these criticisms. It was still a really good movie. It was well done. It's beautifully shot, man.
Yeah.
It's just like, and then, well, I guess if it was filmed in Indonesia, it was probably filmed in Jakarta. But like, for what it's supposed to stand in, which is Mumbai, New Delhi area, it still looked really good.
Yeah,
man.
Absolutely.
It's just.
I even like the storyline with his kind of best friend in that, the guy with the bum lead.
That was that was one of the things like he
wasn't really developed. It was kind of like he was using him to get in further.
Yeah, so he's kind of like this like runner for like the local mafia.
Yeah.
But we find out that he lost his leg in a drug deal.
Yeah.
And then like the cops are making fun of him because of it. The corrupt cops that are in the club are making fun of him, and he was just like he kind of like looks sad, and it's like, oh, they kind of should have. They might have probably cut some of that.
Right.
It feels like because all of a sudden he just like.
He invites him to the fight.
Yeah, he's like, all of a sudden he's like with this dude. Like, hey, man, I'm your buddy. And like, oh, now we're in some serious shit. Let's run together.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like, weird, that was kind of fast. Like, this dude has probably been part of this like organization, this mafia organization for a while. Like, why would he give that up so fast? But they had like
one night out.
Yeah, and all of a sudden he's his best friend and his brother. I was like, okay, that seems a little rushed. Well, so it's those kind of things.
I think the whole thing was like, hey, I want you to go here and bet on this person just to show him like what he does. So he's like, yeah, I can help you.
Yeah, well, that's what it was. Yeah, that's how you kind of got in with him.
But I wouldn't
go there
say
and bet against me.
I wouldn't say it was like a friend thing though. At the beginning, it was more of a business.
Right.
In the beginning, sure.
Yeah.
Started hanging out after the
and I think there's a progression of time in there because things kind of move pretty quickly his time in this
Right.
in this
Yeah.
mafia
He
organization.
still got to train that damn dog. I mean, that's
Yeah,
gonna take
exactly.
time.
So yeah, he's like, you see him feeding the dog, So, by the way, I hope the dog's okay because we never saw him again after
It's
he
true.
stole him the gun.
It's true.
It was a cute dog.
It was a cute dog.
Yeah. So
like a dingo.
yeah. But yeah, I mean, but again, I'm just sort of small criticisms. I really liked the movie. The action scenes were amazing. Choreography was really well done.
Mm-hmm.
And also we didn't, because there's like high class like escorts
Yeah.
in this club.
Yeah.
We didn't see a ton of the women, and there's like one
I
particular
thought that'd be a
escort,
little bit more with
more
her.
developed. Yeah.
Yeah, but it
just,
really
like,
doesn't.
They don't really go into it. Although she did get a great scene where like the madam of the
Yeah.
is shooting at him, and she like takes her revenge on her by like slamming
Yeah.
her head with a fucking tray,
But I'm kind of glad too that we didn't get a love story. Really,
Me too. I thought we were going to go into that.
He recognized her tattoo.
Yeah.
Of like, oh, you're a forest person like me. And then so they're kind of like, oh, we're both coming from the same place.
Right.
But I think like his drive it's simply to get revenge.
Right. Exactly.
Well, I think when he saw her getting like felt up, it reminded of what happened to his mom.
Yeah.
So I think
that was brutal.
I think
Watching that.
yeah, that was pretty rough. Yeah.
I think that he didn't see her as a love interest because there were those connections
Yeah.
of like what was happening to what happened to his mom. So he was like, oh no, like when the police captain was touching her and stuff.
Yeah.
It just brought him back. So
Yeah, I just felt like he was a character who he doesn't see a day after that day. Like he's not going into like, oh, I'm gonna take care of this and then move on. Like this is his mission,
Right.
right? Like I'm gonna take care of these people, and then if I die doing so, I die.
Yeah,
doing
exactly.
So, right? Like that's like so yeah. So I don't think that's why probably why he wasn't making connections really.
Yeah.
With people.
I would have liked to see how he got to the fighting ring, like how.
Oh yeah.
Because like we start there, but I'm just like, all right, he's taking falls and stuff, and he's obviously saving money up to do. But I was like,
Which I love. Was it Charlotte Copley?
Yeah, Charlotte Copley
as the ring announcer.
Yeah, and I think that's probably why they wanted the director from Chappie, because he voiced Chappie
together.
so.
Yeah.
But I think during the time when he's like tripping on the drugs and stuff, it could have flashed back as well to him growing up without his mom.
Right.
Like, because I kind of wanted to see a little bit more of him making that, like this is what I'm doing.
I get like in what Stan was saying though. If you did that, extend that like centerpiece of the movie, it does feel it because it's so high intensity. In the beginning. Then it kind of slows down for that section, and then builds up again at the end. Like I think if you add another 10 minutes, it will really feel like it will drag there.
Well, like part of me felt the pacing was like from the beginning. It wasn't. I mean, he was moving fast in the story.
Yeah,
but of his planning, it like I didn't feel it was getting, or there was. I mean, I knew he wanted to get to the guy, but I was like, there was no extra storytelling.
There's not a lot of fat on there.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of fat on it.
It could have been done simply with a line when he's taking the money after the first fight, and he's like, "Oh, this is not enough," and he's like, "Well, you get more money to bleed," kind of thing. And it could have been something as simple as like, "I took you in as a kid, and I taught you this business," or something like that.
True.
Something like that, or even like with
you were on the street as a kid, and then
I
gave you a job.
Because like also you didn't know he was even that good of a fighter until because like he even loses against the captain as well. So I was like, what? How did you think this was going to turn out if you did get into a fight?
Right.
Like I had no concept that okay, he's a really good fighter, but we haven't seen any of that.
No. Yeah.
So I mean he did go back and forth in the ring with his opponent, like the Snake. Cobra King or whatever the guy's name, but like obviously he loses every time. So I was just like I didn't have that confidence in him for a bit, and then I was like, okay, I get where it was going and stuff, but
I will admit, I was a little disappointed he didn't wear the monkey mask more.
Yeah.
When he
he took it off
bleached
immediately.
it
Yeah.
and then put it on, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh shit, he's got that.
I was
white-
hoping he'd have it on.
He takes it off immediately and throws it
Right,
away.
and I get it was just kind of because that parade was going on,
Yeah.
and he needed to
True.
get through,
Yeah.
like not be noticed. So I was like, all right, it makes sense story wise.
Yeah.
And once he's in, he's just doesn't need it. But I'm like,
Right.
could have kept that mask.
Yeah, just a little bit longer.
Just a little
Yeah.
bit. Have it be ripped off at some point.
My only
Yeah.
my main criticism of it are, first of all, there's way too much lens flare. He's doing a lot with like
Right, love ambient light.
Yeah, a lot of ambient light. That was like I was like, oh my god, dude, just tell the story. You
There's
don't
some
need
I was lighting wise. There were
Yeah.
some beautiful shots.
Yeah, there
of,
were,
like you
for
know,
sure.
like him in the red lined
Yeah.
elevator, and
to,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah,
there's
oh
some,
for sure.
some beautiful.
But there was like
colors being
there was a
used,
section
but-
there where he was like laying in the ring and he focuses on these lights, the ring lights, and
Yeah.
they just kind of like fade in. I was like, oh my
Well,
god.
I
But then the other thing is
But that,
like
that
there's way
goes
too many.
back to the myth about
trying
to
reaching
grab
out.
the
Yeah,
sun.
yeah. But I felt that it kind of went on for a little longer than
Yeah.
it should
and the
have.
beating he
You
took,
know?
where
He's
you're
kinda
kind
like,
of seeing
yeah.
stars type of
And
thing.
the other thing is like there's way too much like close-ups. Like pan out, bro, pan out. You know. But aside
Medium
from that,
shot, please.
yeah, it's just like. But aside from that, it was just like because I get very uncomfortable when I'm watching a movie and it's like super close up with everything. It's just like, oh my god, like, can you give me some perspective here? Like, what are we looking at? You know, pan out, dude. So it's like, but those are my two main criticisms
Right.
of it. But like, yes, but like you said, beautiful shots.
Mm-hmm.
You know, yeah, when he's in the elevator.
Right.
But just I mean, just some of the scenes when they were in the forest.
Yeah,
You know, with his mom.
The forest
He
looked
looked
oh
great,
my
looked
God,
beautiful. Because
yeah.
it was such a contrast with this like dirty, grimy city.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
Everyone's
you
just
see, like,
sleeping on each
on
other.
the floor.
yeah.
Yeah, you know, and then you see this like beautiful like forest that they're walking.
Right,
through.
where they're not allowed to be anymore.
Mhm.
You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Because the
The
religious
yogi
guy built a
yeah.
Compound.
compound, yeah,
factory or something.
They're
like
not
that, yeah.
slaves. They're believers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was like,
What'd you guys think of the main villain, who was that
that guy.
yogi guy, whatever?
I thought it was great. Like, you know, I think it would have been silly if they had a straight up like
I thought
ninja fight at the end.
I
You
thought
know,
this was gonna happen. Yeah,
you know, it was a very quick like.
Yeah.
You know, he was already beat to shit by
Yeah.
that point when he goes up there,
yeah,
and you know, the Yogi's like, "Surprise, bitch!"
yeah.
yeah.
Shoe
Pulls out some-
knives.
pulls out some
Ha-cha-cha.
shivs. Yeah,
Yeah.
Well, I kind of wanted more interaction between the two in some way throughout, or maybe once or twice before,
Right.
because
Well,
they never were face to face. He's only seen them on TV.
He
Yeah.
was
And
there
stuff.
for a speech. You know, he was in the crowd.
Well, yeah,
but,
there was,
yeah.
but I mean, like, I wanted them to have a conversation before that last conversation,
Right.
you know, just to, or maybe he's like, the window rolls down while, you know, and he spoke to him as a kid when his, you know, hands were
Oh,
bleached,
yeah.
or like just some reference of like, oh, I didn't remember, but he was there, you know, which he did have that flashback, and I don't know if he knew he was in that car or not, because he saw the line on the car,
line on the car,
but
and the
I don't
line
know if he
rang.
knew he was
Yeah.
in there or not or whatever. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Because you don't see him actually come out of the car or anything.
yeah.
But I mean, I liked the movie. I noticed there was a lot of things they took from other action movies where, like him diving off the roof and falling into the water after being shot.
Yeah.
Was Jason Bourne,
Mhm.
and like there was a couple other things that like from Ong Bak 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And then the Protector as well, and I was like, okay, it's very. I feel
The homages.
and
Yeah.
inspired
Yeah.
by a lot of stuff, and some they executed well, some could have been better, but and obviously I don't know how much, because I heard he did take martial arts, like
Yeah.
before the movie,
Yeah,
like,
oh,
even
yeah.
before. So
He's been trying for years to be in an action movie
and I thought he was good. It was just
and not be the computer guy.
it's just I
That's what- yeah,
agree.
that's who- yeah.
I agree with you, Stan, where someone else should have
Directed.
been in charge of the direction
Right.
for martial arts. But some of the combat was good, but I'm not a big fan of the close up fighting,
Yeah.
which it's fine at some points. Like he would flip somebody, and then it would cut to him already flipped on the ground, and and it worked. It was storytelling of a fight, and that's at least you executed that well. And
Yeah.
I was like, okay, that's good. There wasn't like confusion, but I will say, I did get because the camera there was a lot of shaky cam.
Yeah,
too.
it was a lot of, like-
and I was like,
Yeah,
oh,
there
you
was
could
a
have
lot
done
of
without that.
That was a lot of that.
Because there were times where people were picking up weapons, and I didn't know what was in their hand. I was like,
Right.
is that a bottle? Is that a knife? And it was just so quick. And then you noticed when they use it, you was like, oh, it's a bottle. Oh, it's a knife.
Yeah.
Or whatever it was. So I was kind of not happy about that, but I was like, the rest, that's just nitpicking, obviously.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
but yeah, no. All in all, it was good first bout for
Yeah.
Depp. I hope he gets to make more.
Get Monkey Man 2.
I don't know.
Still
What do you
monkeying
guys
around?
think? Do you think he survived at the end? Because he just kind of falls over after
I mean,
he's stabbed.
he gets stabbed quite a bit
No,
through
I
the
think
course
he
of the
dies.
movie. Yeah, I think he does too. I think at
If-
that point he kind of gives up.
I mean, if
Yeah.
he didn't die, the leftover police would arrest him and
Right.
beat him in prison or
Right.
whatever.
Right. Well, no one else can get
Yeah,
up
that's
to
what I'm
that.
saying. Do you think we'll get a sequel?
I don't think so.
I mean, the movie's already successful.
Yeah, it's made 10 million. It's already made 16 million.
Like, but
Well, and that was before. So Netflix bought the movie first.
Yeah.
For $30 million.
Mm.
They gave, or I believe they paid $30 million for
Mhm.
it. And then to show it in, but then they realized like it's because it's very politically charged.
Yeah.
yeah,
And they were like, this probably is not going to play well on our streaming service. So that's when Jordan Peele was like, I'll distribute it to movies. So I think Jordan Peele paid another $10 million to distribute it.
Mm.
yeah.
So already on a $10 million budget, it made $40 million before it even came out.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So I think it's a good clear to say that there probably will be a sequel.
But the
Yeah, I
story,
think so.
I just don't see it being strong story wise,
Right.
for that to happen because
He doesn't
Like-
really have a purpose.
yeah,
Well, it would be he has to help somebody. That's what the sequel would be.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah,
he
but
has
like
to,
what's gonna be?
was motivating back.
Yeah, well, there's got to be some connection because like I'm
Right.
not gonna believe it. Like even with Ong Bak 1 and 2, they're two separate movies pretty
Right.
much. One
Well-
is a prequel to the first one.
Maybe his little one-legged friend is in trouble.
something like that.
And
mean,
he's
it-
gotta
it
come
could.
back.
But it's then that would just be turning into a regular
Yeah.
action movie.
Well, that's
And if he barely has on a monkey mask, then
Yeah.
what? Like unless he dons that the whole like part of the whole movie, I'm not gonna be all right. Well, you're not really monkey man. You're just
Yeah.
a guy.
Yeah.
event
They'll
fighting.
they'll do something like
Right.
yeah. They'll
I-
do,
I
they'll do
would-
something.
I kinda-
or they could do a Monkey Man series where it'll be a different person.
I mean,
doing
it,
Monkey Man,
and that'd be cool too. But
Yeah.
I would love to see.
like the Crow.
And I just realized he probably takes the mask off early, so it's actually him doing the stunts.
Yeah.
Like it's him doing the martial
true,
arts.
and that makes sense.
Instead of someone like, well, anyone could be into that
Yeah.
monkey
Yeah,
mask. You
sure.
get a
Well, I
stunt
mean, he
guy.
could have started fighting and then the mask pulled off. while
Yeah.
he was fighting.
Yeah.
But that but I would hope that instead of just doing a sequel, he does another original action
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
which I would love to see.
Sure.
So, and like
Well, and especially if Jordan Peele, if he still wants to produce his stuff, like
Yeah.
obviously you can see he sees talent there.
yeah,
Yeah. I hope we get more.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Like I said, I think it would be a good Cyclops.
Yep.
Just
Monkey
saying.
Man. Check it out.
check
it out.
Check it out.
Check it out.
What it's all about?
I don't think you watched it, Chad, yet, but the Fallout show
Oh,
has just been released.
Yeah, I just watched the first
Me too.
episode.
Me too. What did you think of it, Watson?
I'm shocked how amazing it looks.
Yeah,
like
it's really good.
they put money in this.
They
thing,
definitely put money in this.
and
thing,
I
yeah.
know it's Christopher Nolan's brother, Jonathan Nolan, is in charge.
oh really?
Yeah, so they went right from Westworld to this. It's a beautiful aesthetic. Like I always
Yeah.
like the Fallout games.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they seem to be keeping pretty close to it. Like, the world building and everything, the look.
The way everything looks, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and having that kind of 1950s
Mm-hmm.
futuristic aesthetic. You
Uh-huh.
know?
Yeah.
So I'm really digging it, man. I want to know more about the like the Brotherhood of the
Steel.
Steel. Yeah, like that character's intriguing.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm like, all right. I mean, obviously, I'm only one episode in.
Yeah.
So, and obviously, Walton Goggins cannot do no wrong. Like,
Yeah.
he's killing it. He's having a great time.
Yeah.
As the ghoul, and
Mhm.
and I know he's playing multiple characters as well. Like
Mhm.
in the beginning of the first episode, he's playing a different character, I believe.
I don't think he is. I
Don't
think he's
think
the
he
same
is.
guy. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
He's yeah.
From previous or one of the later trailers for the show, he's the guy in the commercial talk, but then it's revealed like as he survived the apocalypse. and
Okay,
he's
all right. I
become
thought he
that.
was going to be like playing multiple people through the course. So
He might be playing multiple people, but that cowboy is supposed to be
Yeah.
the guy the cowboy from
TV.
the beginning.
Yeah, okay.
The ghoul. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. I want to know if he was doing those actual rope tricks, or was that all a CGI rope?
I'm pretty sure.
I think it was
pretty
him.
sure it was him. Yeah,
Because he
Pretty
seems
impressive.
yeah. He seems like the kind of guy that would learn that. You know?
justified.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I really like the main character. What's her name?
Lucy.
Lucy. Yeah. The actor. I can't remember an actress' name.
Ellie.
L something.
Something.
She does a great job with it. It obviously opens with these people are in the vaults, they're underground, they've survived the apocalypse, and the way that they produce children is that they
She's a breeder.
They intermarry with other vaults.
Yeah,
who have
I
different-
love like she's like, oh yeah, when you're young, you could do stuff with your cousin,
right?
But
yeah, they said that, but it's not great for breeding.
Yeah,
It's
like everyone in the vault is at 200 years in, like they're all related.
Yeah,
at that
exactly.
Point,
So we in the second episode we kind of find out that it's the wealthier people that went to the vaults.
Yeah,
and the people on the surface know about them and resent them. And one of the their neighboring vault that they're supposed to intermarry with has fallen to raiders. Right. And it's great how we find like there's little hints that because they have like a wedding ceremony between this other so-called the other vaulters supposedly
Vault 32,
Vault 32 and then
yeah.
Vault 33. And there's little hints that there's something off with Vault 32. And I remember watching it like during the wedding ceremony, like celebration.
Tattoos,
I was like, there's something off with them. They kind of act like a little barbaristic, a little bit, animalistic, a little bit. Yeah, they got scars all over them. I was like, man, Vault 32 looks rough. I remember thinking, like, and then it turns out that they're surface dwellers that they've taken somehow over Vault 32
and are pretending,
and they're just raiding for supplies. They're able to fight them off. I don't know. I mean, I like her character. I like the lead up to that assault.
Kyle MacLachlan is the dad.
It's really
great.
brutal, like kills that people's heads are getting blown up, literally getting blown apart.
Yeah,
that's the game.
Yeah, it's a game. Yeah, I only played Fallout 4, so I don't have a ton of reference to go off of.
Was that the Vegas one, right?
Vegas.
No, that was,
there was Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas, and then there's Fallout 4.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah. So it was like a reboot of the series, wasn't it?
Not a reboot. It was just like a.
Is that the one in Washington then?
I want to say it was.
I think it was Washington. Yeah, as I recall. Yeah.
So it's just a different vault. Yeah.
Because they were trying to get the not the virus, but they were trying to get the cure for the virus or something like that.
Yeah.
Because there's a video on YouTube if you want to know the whole lore of the games and stuff. Because I'm wondering when this show takes place. Like, do they give
it takes
a year?
place 200 years after the apocalypse, after
like
the bombs went off.
Okay, because like multiple bombs went off in the history. So it's just like, all right, where does it fall? But there is a through line through some of the games, like at least the first 3, because and it introduces like how the Brotherhood of Steel is, or why they came into play.
Yeah,
and they're trying to create a virus to wipe out every surface dweller and stuff like that. So it'll be interesting to see where they are in the show compared to the game.
So is every game a different vault that is coming out of hiding?
It's a different. Yeah, you're a different person in a vault.
Yeah.
Coming out, and then
they're not connected, right?
No. Well, I mean, sometime I think. Maybe between 2 and 3 it's connected because there's a guy who creates I'm blanking on some of the names of the stuff, but there's a guy who creates something to be able to start a life outside of the vault. It's called, I want to say it's called a nest, like it's abbreviated, but a nest kit or something like that. And
that sounds right. Yeah, sounds familiar.
Yeah, and they usually, the person leaving the vault usually takes a nest kit and starts a civilization and stuff like that. But then the Brotherhood of Steel is also trying to create a virus to wipe out all the mutants and all the ghoul, all the bad stuff. But there's, I forget which game it is, but you're trying to stop them from pulling off that in the case, and it eventually gets. I forget how 4 goes.
Jeez,
it's been so long.
Yeah, me too. It's so long that I played it.
But I mean, so there is interconnecting things that happen.
Yeah.
I don't know how because there's Fallout 76. I don't know how that
That's the latest.
Gets dropped
game,
in.
right?
It was the latest one, but I think it's like a prequel to.
Right, and I heard that a
Or
lot of people had
something.
issues with that game.
Yeah, there was issues with it when it came out because there was a lot of bugs and things, but it got fixed. And that game apparently, John Carpenter loves playing it. And stuff
Oh,
like
wow.
that.
Okay.
Like he plays
Shit,
it all the
I
time. He's like, just leave me alone. I want to play out Fallout 76.
Stop asking me about fucking Kurt Russell.
Yeah, I'm not making another thing or whatever.
Right,
like
right.
that.
I don't give a shit about Halloween no more.
Yeah. But like that's why I was like, oh, if the show does good, maybe they can lure him out, and maybe he might direct an episode or something.
that'd be
if
great.
if he would really,
Yeah.
if he was really interested and stuff. And but yeah, so I'm excited to watch it. So I'll be.
It's. I mean, they've dropped, I think, all the episodes now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
all
Yeah.
of it.
So they dropped. So I mean, it's I've watched the second one. I think it slows down a little in the second one, and the guy you were talking about, the Brotherhood of Steel guy,
Maximus.
yeah,
right?
he's kind of boring sometimes, especially in the second one. So I don't know. Me, I'm sure it'll get better. I'll keep watching it, but I mean, if I was, I'd give it an 80% so far.
Okay.
I'm more interested in Lucy's storyline.
Yeah.
Like what? Because she's such a fish out of water. Literally,
Right.
when she leaves the vault. And I wish that they had done a little more, when she leaves the vault, the sun is so bright, but she kind of gets acclimated very quickly. And I was hoping to see a scene where she puts sunglasses on because she's never seen the sun before,
Right.
and kind of stares like, what the fuck? And there's a part where she stands in front of this ocean, which looks like it's Santa Monica Pier, and she's kind of standing there and just like, but it moves so quick. She kind of like looks around like, oh, okay, and then just like moves around. I wish that she had taken him or the wind hits her in the face and she
Right.
kind of like
Feels
closes her eyes
breeze,
like, wow, what is
yeah.
that? She
I
never
mean,
felt the wind,
Yeah,
I was
I
hoping
get
that
it. She's on the mission, right? She's like, I gotta
yeah,
get
but
my dad.
I mean, think of
but-
being underground for all your entire life. You come to the surface, and you see the sun and the ocean and the wind. You'd be like, what is this?
I'd be
Well,
like
So,
Scar.
she just kind of like looks around like, oh, all right, it's just,
Well, but also like you've been getting an education underground, so
Yeah, but-
what they've told you
yeah,
about.
but reading about it is completely different experience.
No,
right?
and that's
You know?
true.
Yeah.
But like if you think about how we don't know all the attributes of a irradiated world, after the fact of just like in this world.
Yeah.
Obviously, in the real world, we know what it would be like, but like here, it could be a little bit different where. She's also her Pip Boy could influence her in a certain way. I'm not sure how the show.
No,
Like I'd have to see.
they
it for
don't really
myself,
they don't
though.
really use them that much in the show. The first two episodes are kind of like she points the Pip at her husband.
radiation level.
He's like, oh, his radiation levels are real high,
Yeah.
and then she puts in a course for where she's supposed to go. That's about it. They don't have to use them that much. I'm sure that they will in the future episodes. But
Are bottle caps used as currency?
They are, but they don't. So there's in the second episode, she offers like one of the owners of the store offers like 1,000 caps to whoever kills Walter Goggins'
Oh,
character.
okay.
So they're not used a ton so far. The first
No,
two
yeah. I mean,
episodes,
as long as it's been addressed as
it's been addressed.
there's currency. And
Yeah,
things
there's
like
signs
that,
that say
like-
we only take caps.
Yeah.
Yeah,
When she
and,
gets to Philly.
in the vault, there's a Nuka Cola
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
dispenser. So,
Yeah.
definitely tip of the hat.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I'll check it out.
I mean, people have been saying it's the best video game adaptation yet,
Okay, that's
and
all
I was
right.
like, that's high praise.
Yeah,
it's
I
hard
mean,
to do.
We're a golden era for
Yeah.
that right now. So
Yeah, hopefully so. And then we had the Joker 2 trailer recently come out.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of that?
It looks good, man. I kind of still think that they're trolling us with this musical shit. Because I saw a quote somewhere that said from the comic book that Joker said, "My life is a musical." In one of the comic books, he says it. So I kind of feel like they might be trolling us, like, "Oh, it's a musical, guys. Haha, it's a musical." But it's a musical in terms of what the Joker thinks his life is.
Right.
So in the trailer there were no singing pieces. So it's like, are they
It
just?
could be lip syncing. They've
could
done
be it
that
too.
before in musicals.
I don't because these are very smart filmmakers. I just don't see them saying like,
Going
yeah, let's
full-
let's do full musical, because it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I mean, maybe I'm wrong and they do, but I just don't see them going that route, especially after the first Joker made $1 billion fucking dollars.
Right.
I don't think.
Why switch it up so much?
Yeah, I don't think the studio.
Why
would
make
like
it go a Gremlins 2?
Yeah, exactly. I don't think the studio would take that kind of risk. So I kind of feel that they're saying they're maybe not so much trolling us, but it's just like it's a metaphor for what the Joker thinks his life is.
Yeah, the way I got it from the trailer is, he's in the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
She sees him.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like she's trying to push his buttons to get him to get back to that way.
Yeah.
And so I feel like when feels like to me like very like Natural Born Killers meets La La Land kind of thing of like when they're together, there's these kind of the high contrast lighting and everything, and it looks like a musical, and then it's gonna cut to like reality, and they're like
exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like it's all like dream sequence.
Yeah,
kind of
that's what it looks like.
I think that's where the musical part. Will
yeah,
come
I don't think
I
don't think it's gonna happen in what considered their
That's
reality.
exactly what I think is. Yeah. But I'm still excited for it. I thought like a lot of people didn't like the first one for some reason. I really liked it.
I'm not a fan.
I mean,
yet again, I think it's a good film. Don't call it a Joker movie because he's not Joker.
Yeah.
He's this Arthur Fleck guy,
right?
Yeah.
Who has a gun and shoots 3 stockbrokers. That's his crime.
Yeah.
That's what he's done.
Yeah.
He hasn't done anything else. He shot 3 stockbrokers.
Yeah.
Like he's not. I want to see.
Well, he shot Robert De Niro.
Oh, he shot De Niro too. Yeah, that's true. But 4 shots, you call yourself the Joker? Get the fuck out of here. Tell me when you
Give him some time. Give him some time. Harley Quinn will push him in that.
I want to see some fucking comic book shenanigans. I want to see some laughing fish being sold or some shit.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, which I don't think we'll ever get with this.
No.
But no, I agree with you on he's not really the Joker. But I will say I think the first movie was good. The acting great and stuff.
Yeah,
but like when I saw the trailer or I heard that they were making a second one, I was like, I could care less. I mean, I'm not like, oh, I'm there day one, gotta be, it could pass by and be like, oh, I completely forgot it was in theaters. So, but like,
I can't wait for fucking Joker X Harley.
If anything,
New Kingdom.
If anything, the cinematography looks cool. So, if anything, I'll be going for that to check that out and to see more, of a performance from Joaquin Phoenix.
Right.
And I'm not nothing against Lady Gaga. I never saw what was the movie she did with Brad.
Star is Born.
Yeah, I didn't see it. Obviously, she was nominated for a reason. She's probably a great actress, but in my head, I was like, I don't know, she's gonna pull off Harley. I mean, depends on how they play it, so it's gonna be a movie. Although I heard this, and I hope there was a reason why Todd Phillips mentioned it, but I was like, someone retweeted his thing and he said, the Joker is bisexual and stuff. And I was like, why does that even matter, for one? And like, what? Like, is your way of like, I don't know if he's trolling or if he's just trying to bring attention to it that way. But I was like, why does that even matter to the story? That doesn't make sense.
I hadn't seen that, but that's
Yeah, and it was just like someone made a joke of that tweet because they put a still frame of the Nice Guys of where Ryan Gosling's telling his daughters, like, just say whores, not whores and stuff. Or, like, don't say stuff.
Yeah.
And because that's how he phrased it, bisexual and stuff. And I was like, what's that? I mean, yeah. So that kind of was like, all right, I guess that's a great way to, promote your movie that way. But I was just like, I hope there's a longer thing that I missed, or maybe I have to still look for it if there's a question that was asked to him. But like I feel there was no reason to just throw that out there like that, because if it doesn't help the character,
get you talking about it.
I mean, I guess it gets you talking about it, but it's a cheap way to get people talking about it. I don't know, but I don't think.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh no, I was just also hearing that why I'm not that crazy for the movie is like, oh, is he gonna copy another Scorsese movie? And people have been saying like, oh, it's gonna be New York,
yeah.
Right,
and then with a hint of a Cuckoo's Nest, and I was like, oh, okay, well, I've seen those
actually
before.
That does sound right.
Exactly what
and I'm like,
all
right, well, I guess it's a new version of those movies. So I don't know. I mean, it's me. I'm Matt Reeves train. That's the train I'm on. I don't need.
I wish we could get Joaquin in that Matt Reeves universe.
It would be nice.
That'd be dope. Yeah.
Because I mean,
That'd be
no offense to Barry Cohen, who's playing the Joker in that universe.
Yeah.
He looks terrible. Like his look, the makeup and everything. Like he looks just like a beat up, acid burned face.
Well, I think he's because
he looks more like Two-Face than he does.
Well, no, I think he's messed up in the face and all that stuff, and he's healing from that last battle.
Okay.
I don't think he's permanently that.
I hope not,
because you see all the scars and stuff on his head. It's like that must be the acid, That, so I was like, okay, but again, Joaquin Phoenix's Joker is not the Joker because he's not smart.
No,
he's not.
No.
So that's why I don't want him in Matt Reeves.
All his violence is a reaction. You know what I mean? Like he shot those guys on the subway as a reaction. He shoots De Niro as a reaction. He was going to go and shoot himself on that show, but instead shoots him.
But
sorry.
No, you go.
Just the psychology of the Joker, I feel, is he's a fascinating character.
Yeah.
And to not really do him justice like that, like saying like the bisexual and stuff. Like Joker he's a pansexual being whose only like gratification sexually comes from his ego, right? So anyone that's like, if you applaud him, he'll fall in love with you, kind of thing. Like that's why he's constantly wants Batman's attention.
Yeah.
He's a narcissist,
Yeah,
exactly.
true.
So I don't think it matters if you're male, female, or anything.
It doesn't.
But it's never been like, oh, I'm looking. The reason he loves Harley is because Harley feeds that ego.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with love. He doesn't know what love is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
he wants you to show it.
Yeah. But also with
good point.
And I just don't think if you did have Joaquin Phoenix's Joker in Matt Reeves' universe, he'd be stopped immediately. That
exactly.
The plot would be like, oh, he robbed a store or something like that.
Harrison would punch him a lot.
Just like, it's like, and obviously he probably doesn't call himself Vengeance anymore because he learned a lesson in the last movie.
Yeah.
He's like, I am the Knight.
Yeah.
Hopefully he says that.
That'd be dope.
So I don't know.
It's interesting that all the actors now have done a live action version of the Joker. I don't feel anyone's really gotten it right, except for the animated series.
Yeah,
exactly. Mark Hamill's Joker is the epitome of what it should be.
Yes,
but I think live action wise, the person who got closest to it is Jack Nicholson.
Yeah. I think Jack Nicholson was that perfect blend of ego and the manicness. And what do you want? I want my face on $1 bill. It doesn't mean anything, but I'm going to murder a shit ton of people to do it.
Yeah. Well, that scene in the museum, he gasses everybody.
Yeah.
And he walks through with his henchman with the boom box. Like that's the epitome. That's Joker.
Right.
That's Joker. That's comic book Joker.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. And that's funny. Like, that movie is now almost 40 years old, and we haven't gotten it right since then, really.
Yeah, it's true.
I love Heath Ledger. I think Heath Ledger's
he was good too, but he was great. He was more of a thug.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
He was killing people to get paid to get killed.
Right, exactly. He was a pit bull.
But at a point, his Joker turned, and which I would agree, like the early version of the Joker was that he was paid to.
That's true.
And then he made that turn
to Agent of Chaos. Joker.
Yeah, and although I mean, there was a lot of people who took him seriously when he said, "Oh, I wouldn't know what I do,"
Right.
And I was like, he was lying there. He wasn't telling the truth. He always has a plan.
Yeah, I mean, obviously he had a plan. He had all those buses.
Yeah,
right.
So that's why I was just like, so Agent of Chaos isn't really what you are, but you
play that you are.
You play that you are, and I was like, okay, I like that, but there's the whimsical, you had it in certain moments with him and Two-Face, and stuff like that, and I was like, you should expand upon that more and bring that out of him, but sadly we won't be able to have that.
Jared Leto, best Joker.
He did have a Joker mobile, he had that purple Lamborghini.
Yeah, he sure did. He sure did.
That's straight from the comic books.
Yeah.
He did have that one line where it's like, "Now I'm really gonna hurt you."
Yeah. Yeah, so Joker 2, I'm gonna go see it. I'm excited for it. I'm excited for it just because I love Joaquin Phoenix too.
Yeah, I think.
Well, I love walking. I love him too.
Yeah.
So
He gets a lot of love from us.
they just recently released some information on the Silver Surfer, who will be
For the Fantastic Four movie.
Fantastic
Yes.
Four, who will be played by oh gosh, I just had her name right in front of me and I just lost it.
I just had her name in front of me.
What was that?
I don't know. I was making up a song
Like
while you
Vamp,
look it up.
baby,
Jeez,
Vamp.
it's called Covering Your Ass.
It was played by Julia Gardner.
Julie Gardner.
Yeah.
Not to be confused with Julia Gardner,
Yeah.
the lovely lady who played.
You don't need to stall anymore.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about that? I mean, you think it's
It's fine.
Yeah.
I didn't have a problem with it. The internet fucking lost their fucking gourd over
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
But
It's
now
like-
I think they backtracked and said it. Oh, she's not the real Silver
Right,
Surfer, but
right.
like his side piece.
Yeah, yeah.
Her wife.
Which,
or
because
something.
there has been multiple,
Yeah, there has, yeah.
Heralds of Galactus.
Right,
There's been
right.
multiple Silver
Right.
Surfers. I'm not a huge Silver Surfer
Yeah,
fan.
neither
I don't
am
know
I.
a lot of people that
I mean,
are.
I'm not a big Fantastic Four fan.
Right, and I don't think. I mean, like literally, it's a cosmic being. It could be any gender. It could be.
Yeah.
I mean, we still don't know. It's not like she's gonna be painted silver. It's gonna be a CGI creature,
Right.
Yeah.
that
It'll
could
be
look
her
like
doing
anything.
VO.
Like
Yeah,
it,
yeah,
and like,
But
the
she
only-
might do motion cap though.
Yeah.
Well, she'll
But
definitely do that,
leaning on a surfboard.
Right. They're not gonna Doug Jones it and have someone in a
No,
suit again,
no, yeah.
unfortunately. But like, I feel like the idea of a female Silver Surfer. Did you guys watch Raised by Wolves on HBO?
I saw it on there, but I haven't watched it.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
But I know what you're talking about.
The main
yeah.
mother character like has that great look when she like turns robotic,
Yeah.
and I was like, it's a great visual, like that kind of female crazy energy kind of thing. So maybe they saw that one like, we want something to do like that, and but it doesn't mean like we're not going to see the Nordic rad version
Yeah.
of Silver Surfer,
I mean, if anything, it's like I don't know why we're seeing a Silver Surfer this early.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good
that's
question.
that's already kind of frightening that you're trying to bring that in, and you should be focusing on your Doctor Doom. Like, don't
Well,
you get that down, and then
Here's
you
the thing, though. Did you see what they did for the 4th of April?
no what.
So it was 4/4 day.
Mm-hmm.
So Marvel posted a picture of Joseph Quinn as it's a drawing like they did with the announcement picture of Joseph Quinn as Johnny Storm, all flamed up with the big 4 behind him, like.
Oh yeah, I
That's
did
cool.
see. I did
And
see
then,
it.
but everyone was really
Didn't know
looking
what it
at the cityscape because it's not like a modern looking New York.
yeah,
It looks like a very like kind of like Fallout retro futuristic looking city. So that's a lot of people thinking that this is like an alternate reality, like a different dimensional version of the Fantastic Four.
yeah.
And why you can get like a female Silver Surfer, so maybe Galactus shows up to that universe and destroys that Earth,
Oh, okay.
and then they get through to the 616
Yeah, yeah,
universe.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's what a lot of people are.
That's interesting.
Wondering about.
Would the Doom be from that universe or this new one?
That's possibly from that universe.
Yeah, because you'd want Reed and him to
have
have
a connection.
Yeah, true.
So there's
Um,
got to be that animosity.
But
you
we'll
guys-
find out.
Are you guys pumped for this Fantastic Four movie? I'm not. I don't care. I just don't like Fantastic Four that much.
It's so hard to get this right because you want a family dynamic, and I
Yeah.
still feel like The Incredibles is like the best.
That's the best
Four
Fantastic Four.
movie.
Yes, it's true.
You know?
Yeah.
So if you follow that mold, like I think Brad Bird would have been a great director of a Fantastic Four film.
Yeah.
So I'm interested. I like the casting so
Yeah.
far. Everyone
Yeah.
in it looks good. I don't want them to go against Galactus so quickly.
That'd be ridiculous to do that. Yeah.
But it looks kind of like that's the way we're going. Or maybe
I would assume
we also don't know how much Silver Surfer is going to be involved. She could just show up at the end of the movie and be like, "Galactus is coming." Like we have no idea.
Is it gonna be? Do you think it's gonna be an origin story though? Like,
I don't think so.
are they already gonna have their powers?
Because of their age, I'm going to say they've had their powers for a while.
yeah.
Oh, okay. Because like I was wondering, I was like maybe we'll get a better way, a better time of seeing them deal with their abilities, like because they've touched on it here and there in the other movies, but it's like I would like to sit with them and be like,
well, yeah.
I mean, I know Ben Grimm has the worst of it, but it's just like, are they trying to cure themselves? Are they trying, know, is it only Ben Grimm there where, right. So like that could be the drama of the movie, and then
I feel like
trouble
It's
arises.
the same thing with like Spider-Man, where it's like we've had 3 Fantastic Four movies, 2 of those were origin stories already.
Yeah.
So I feel like we've got that kind of covered. So let's show them like they've been adventuring for a while. They're now comfortable. Yeah. Ben Grimm's comfortable being the Thing, like maybe you could bring up like, I wish I could use my penis or something, but where's my dork?
It would be rock hard.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep, he's all bricked up.
Right, like have them like maybe they can kind of re talk about their origin story kind of.
Well,
thing.
if anything, I would love to. If they give us a little montage of, still frames of their adventures, like them going to different like universes and like the where Annihilation would be,
or the negative zone,
or Annihilator, but like just to show that they're weathered, and all that stuff.
like I'd like them to be a little further along.
Yeah, but I mean, I think I heard rumors that they were coming through on Secret Wars.
Oh,
so I don't know if that'll is
well,
going to be true or not.
That's so far ahead right now. I mean,
that's
I don't know.
True. Well, maybe they'll have their separate movie in their own universe and then come through on Secret Wars.
That makes sense, yeah. Because is that the next Avengers movie? Or they because they're not doing Kang anymore.
Well, no, they're still doing that movie, but I think they're changing what happens in it. I don't know. Just bring Red Skull back. Jeez, come on, guys. You guys give him a shitty hand. Bring back Red Skull.
I agree. So yeah, Fantastic Four. I guess I'll check it out maybe depending on what the reviews like. Yeah, I'm definitely not gonna be there first day or anything. I don't really care about that.
What is the
how you feel about the Joker 2 movie is how I feel about.
Is the release date next year?
I think so.
Is it?
Yeah.
Really?
I believe so. I don't think they're releasing it this year.
Yeah.
But it's me, Daddy, Pedro Pascal.
I was like, who?
It's Pedro Pascal.
Oh, okay.
This is Pedro.
This is how he sounds.
That's your Pedro Pascal?
Yeah, this is how he sounds.
He just whisper talk everything.
Because he always talks. He's always in a moment where he's got to talk under his breath. I'm in The Last of Us.
I hear
Ellie.
it. Okay.
Thank you, Mando.
Ellie.
That sounds okay. There you go. All right, thank
that
you,
last
Mando.
one got there.
Yeah, that one's like yeah.
Ellie.
But yeah, no, I mean, we'll probably get a trailer. I'm guessing around Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Or a teaser at least.
Yeah.
I
think so.
We should try and get free tickets to Comic-Con.
I've already tried.
Yeah, they tell us to go fuck ourselves.
No, it's like you have to apply like now for like next year. Like it's
well, I mean,
it's crazy.
Plan ahead for next year, and then because we already have a library of episodes that
I've
they
never
can
been
do.
to Comic-Con.
Neither have I.
That'd be cool to go as Nerdom.
Oh my god,
that'd be cool. No, I can never be able to get tickets.
I just was never able to or had the money to. So,
you been?
Yeah.
Of course you have.
Oh yeah.
Of course you have. Fucking bougie bitch.
I haven't been since 2015, so it's been a while.
How many times have you been? Yeah, how many
been? 3 times. So yeah, but back in the day, before 2008, like it was really easy.
It was
to
small,
go.
Yeah.
And like
I
literally
G4.
Yeah. I mean, I could buy tickets. I remember buying tickets the weekend before the con at a comic book shop. Like someone just had like, hey, I got tickets to buy, so I just bought them there and went to the con, and it was like no big deal.
Well,
and that was like 2003, and then like when Twilight happened, that's when all the movie stuff started to happen in the con. And it got real crowded real quick.
Well, regarding that, a few months ago, I watched the G4 documentary that was made.
Oh yeah, right.
And
I watched that.
They
Chris
Hardwick?
No.
Gore.
Gore, yes, Chris Gore.
He made that.
Yeah, and it was getting to the point where G4 went to Comic-Con before it was popular, and as it as they promoted it because people weren't able to see what it was like.
Yeah.
And then the movies started wanting to get involved. So
Yeah.
they were kind of the catalyst that brought all that media in.
Those
I believe
assholes.
it.
Yeah,
I believe it. Yeah.
So, you know.
No, they had
And
like really good coverage.
Because it
and
used to be
everything.
just comics and
That's all. Yeah.
stuff and toys, I would assume too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not. It is not as popular as it used to be because a lot of the movies haven't gone right.
Well, that was the thing.
studios.
Was a lot of the studios are doing their own cons now. Like
Yeah.
like Disney were like, well, why are we going to go to another con? We're just going to have D23
Right.
and do all our announcements there. And same with like Sony and
Yeah.
you know, I was going to say Warner Brothers.
Well, I heard WonderCon was deserted this year
Oh,
because
really?
nobody went. Yeah.
Oh man.
No, none of the major studios went. I think maybe DC might have gone, but that's it.
Mm.
wow.
Yeah, because it was like deserted supposedly.
Yeah, it's interesting. I just like I think they're realizing now it's like, well, we could invest and go to a con and do all the promotion,
Mhm.
or we could just blast something on the internet and get more eyes. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
why are we trying to get just 5,000 people in a hall
Yeah.
when we could, you know, throw
Well,
a trailer online and get like
It's true.
1 million views within the day?
Most
you
of
know.
those panels end up online anyway. Like
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never understood people wanting to be in panels. I just don't get it. It's like I'll be able to see what you're seeing 5 minutes later.
Yeah.
It's not.
That's why I was like, if I ever
It never
went,
used to be. I mean, like back in the day, those panels, like the exclusive like stuff. Like I remember when the first Iron Man panel happened, you know, and like they had the trailer, and like, you know, it wasn't even a trailer. It was footage of Iron Man and the two jets.
Mm-hmm.
If you remember that,
Oh yeah,
teaser,
yeah.
you know, and they showed that at the con, and people lost their fucking minds. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And it was like, it didn't leak online. It didn't
Right.
go on the internet. Like, it was very well, like, if you were in that room, in that Hall H, you got to see it.
Yeah.
And no one else did, you know?
Yeah, I mean,
But now everything's.
Yeah, I
online.
mean, I understand the enthusiasm of being in the panels. Like, I get it. Like, I've wanted to go to some, but I just, for some of them, I'm just not going to wait in line that long. I'm just
Well,
not gonna do
and
it.
yeah, a lot of people, like, now it's so ridiculous where it's like you have to be in line for like a night before.
Mhm.
So like
Yeah.
5
So you
in the
can't even
morning.
do
People
it.
used to camp out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And people go into the hall in like 9 in the morning, and they'll stay there the entire day.
No thanks.
You know, and just sit there and wait till like the 4 o'clock Marvel
Yeah, man,
panel.
It's just
or
like you
something,
don't
like-
enjoy the con at all. It's
No.
like, you're just waiting. That's what I mean. It's like,
And-
I'm not going to
Yeah.
do that.
And like after watching a few like on YouTube and stuff, it's
Yeah.
like, they're kind of boring.
Yeah,
Not-
you know,
I mean, like
Yeah, I
And
mean,
a lot of it
it's
is, yeah, the
nothing-
actors come out, they go, hey,
Yeah,
hey.
that's pretty cool. And then
And
you get
then
to ask them a question,
some
maybe.
Q&A,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
then-
You know, I mean, I get it, but I don't.
and they could give you hints about the movie, but they can't. So it's
can't really
like,
go into a detail.
Yeah,
all right,
that's
I
the
could
thing.
read. I could read about this
Oh.
in someone's article the next
Yeah,
day.
because normally like, oh, you just wait and see. I can't talk about it, but oh man,
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, well, I'd still like to go. Well,
No,
yeah,
I
just
would-
to say that I went. Just to say that I went.
Well, no, I would go, but I would walk the floors. I wouldn't
Yeah,
go
exactly.
to panels. I
Exactly,
would
yeah.
like look
and
at stuff.
yeah, I mean it's the
the-
beauty
or the pop-ups that
Yeah.
go around
well,
the
the
neighborhood.
cons to me, the reason I really like going to them is because people's creativity with their
Yeah.
costumes.
Yeah.
That's what I love going. That's
Yeah.
what I really like about them.
When the thing about San Diego is there's so much stuff going on in the city other than the con. You know, like you were
yeah,
saying,
I know
like
a
the
lot of
pop ups.
different-
Yeah.
Like I would have loved to go. I think it was
The
a
Sonic
few years.
thing?
No, there was Taco Bell from Demolition Man.
Oh, that's what it was.
And I was
Yes.
like, damn
yeah,
it.
yeah, I knew it was
I would
something.
have loved to
yeah.
have been there for that, but
some Taco Bell.
because I still need to know what to do with those 3 shells. I don't know. I
What,
don't know.
what do they do? How
Oh
do they-
God,
I don't know. We
I'm
know.
guessing that wouldn't be the bathroom experience if you go use their Taco Bell.
They-
It'd just be a lot of
That's all it'd
confused
be,
people in the bathroom and just a mess.
No, but like it's
It's just the shells covered in
Just
shit.
dirty
poop everywhere.
shells.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Oh my God!
This
I
is-
got
this is
pasta
it.
shells. This isn't
Somebody
the same.
help! Somebody help!
It's
It went too
droopy.
far up.
I broke a shell. My cheeks.
Supposedly, it's 2 for pinching, 1 for scraping.
Yeah, that's probably what it is.
That's what they were.
But I don't even know
They
how you
use
would
them
hold
like
that.
think like
Clackers?
castanets. Yeah. Clackers. Castanets.
They're clackers.
I think they're clackers.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like if you clack them hard enough,
Maybe.
it creates sound vibrations that that clean you.
You know what? Listen. We have already discovered something that cleans butts perfectly.
What?
The bidet.
But yeah,
Bidets
they're awesome.
work 125%
Better.
I'm gonna say
better
though.
than
I'm gonna say
paper
though.
wipes.
But you still got to wipe though.
Yeah, you still got to wipe after you.
Yeah.
But some have a little tube of air.
yeah.
So you just push it
Now,
and it dries you.
although I'm wondering though, you get sprayed with the bidet, right? And then so all of it's supposed to drop off your butt into the water. But what if it's just wet poop now on your butt?
Right.
So then you're gonna have to wipe.
That's yeah.
But as you're wiping, you're gonna have to spray again because did I get all of it?
Yeah.
So this is a whole process.
My understanding of it is you wipe,
Yeah.
and then you spray,
and
then you wipe again, and then
Have
you
you,
get the little air.
have you never used a bidet?
And there- yeah,
You have.
yeah, that's what I
Have
did.
you never?
I've never had the chance.
You've never had the chance.
Well, I don't.
That's what I did.
I don't have a
I
bidet.
wipe, spray,
Yeah.
wipe again, and then the little air.
They're very, very popular in Europe.
Do you have one at your home?
Yeah.
I don't have one in my home. No.
Okay,
You
because
can
then I
install
would come
one.
over and then I would use your
I would-
bidet.
Yeah,
I'd save a nice pinch.
I used one in a fancy toilet once, in a fancy hotel once. Yeah,
Let me go to Japan
Yeah.
and then I'll do it there.
Japan's
they're,
got the
they're
best.
awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway,
Bidet talk.
bidet talk.
Welcome,
Brought to you by-
bidet mates.
Today's
That'll
bidet.
be our podcast. Bidet mates.
Yeah, bidet.
Bidet mates.
Just so wrapping things up, I just want to talk about The Ones Who Live, which is the Walking Dead spinoff starring Michonne and Rick. It's over. It was I think a 6-episode series. They moved very quickly in this. It was basically Michonne and Rick get back together. They're in the CRM. They find out what the CRM's plan is, which is because the CRM they're based in Philly. What their plan is to use their military to spread out across, I guess, the continental United States, and take any civilizations that they find, any pockets of, survivors they find, kill them and take their resources and keep pushing across the country. They also were going to take,
fuck?
yeah, exactly. So there's 3 main cities that the CRM, the Civil Republic, is made up of. The CRM starts the Civil Republic military. And they took out, there was Portland, there was Missouri, Christ, now I'm forgetting this, and Philadelphia. And they blew up the wall in a different show called Fear the Walking Dead, or Walking Dead, anyhow, in a different show, they blew up one of the walls.
Frozen Empire.
Yeah, Frozen Empire. Took out that city, and because Philadelphia is trying to become the premier power in the world, and they're going to take out Portland as well, and they're going to push across the country and take out any civilizations they see. A lot of it doesn't make a whole ton of sense. It's just like the plot of the show itself was
Right.
and it comes to show that there's only a small section of the Civil Republic military that is planning this, the very top tier of it. And so it seems like they don't have enough people to do that, to push across the continental United States and kill any civilians that they come across and take their resources.
No, it seems like a dumb plan.
It's a really dumb plan because it's like, well,
you're gonna lose so many people doing
so in
that
the
push.
movie, in the TV show, there's something called the echelon briefing, which is the top tier of the military get this briefing, and this is where the Civil Republic military tells everybody what their overall plan is. Rick eventually gets this, and this is the general of the army is telling him that according to their statistics, their mathematicians, that humanity only has 15 years left on the planet because they're dying at such a high rate. The disease, fighting, the billions of dead that are walking around out there. So humanity only has 15 years. So they have to push across, eliminate as many people as they can, and take over as many civilizations as they can to propagate the species. It doesn't make a ton of sense.
No, why would you lessen the population?
Right, so they're trying to it kind of sounds like Thanos' plan, like they're using up resources and they have to be eliminated, so all the resources have to be consolidated. Okay, I guess that's the plan. Anyway, Michonne and Rick find out about this, and there's a shot of the Civil Republic military. Again, it's only, the show is kind of vague about this, but they once the show's over, you hear like a kind of like a news segment of what had happened. That there's a formation of Civil Republic military that are going to fan out and do this mission, but it doesn't seem like there's a lot of them. It seems like there's maybe a couple thousand. It's like you're talking about the entire continental United States, all the way from Philadelphia to Portland. What the fuck? Anyway, Michonne and Rick stop them because they are going to. The Civil Republic military is going to use gas to take out these these pockets of civilization they can counter because they have aircraft, and so they just gas everything. And they show that in the show.
Carpet bombing with
carpet bomb with gas, and they show that in this show. Michonne's group that she's with is gassed, and her and another guy are the only survivors. Anyway, I don't know how they have enough shells to do that, but apparently they do. Michonne and Rick blow up all the ordnance, and they kill a good amount of the Civil Republic military that are planning on doing this.
Hoorah.
Right. Okay. Then they get back home, and it's a very touching scene when Rick finally reunites with his daughter and his son that he didn't know that he had. Because
how old are the kids now?
The kids, I think Judith is supposed to be maybe 10.
Wow.
And his son is maybe like 6 or 7.
Right.
Because he didn't know that Michonne was pregnant when he disappeared.
He was gone for 6 years.
He got hurt, and then he was taken by the Civil Republic. So that part was great because in real time, the last time we saw Rick was 2019 with his family.
Yeah.
So he's literally been missing in real time about 5 years now.
Oh, Jesus.
Which is pretty crazy. Now in the show, he's been missing about 7 years.
Right.
From the community that he was with at Alexandria. So it was really nice to see. The final shot is him, Michonne, and their kids like hugging it out, and that's the final. So it was actually very touching to see that part. The rest of the storyline didn't make a whole lot of sense. And as Michonne and Rick are flying back to the community, you hear kind of like a news report that the Civil Republic civilian government didn't know what that section of the military was doing. Anyway, and somehow they're able to take back control of the military. And they even say it was only a section of the Civil Republic military that's planning on doing this. How they plan on keeping it a secret, I don't know. Anyway. They rushed through the show very quickly. It would have been nice to have seen, it would have been informative to have seen Rick communicating with some member of the civilian government and saying, I think this is what's happening.
Right.
I don't, or a member of the civilian government reaching out to him and saying, look, I know you're moving up in the ranks of the military. We suspect they're planning something, but because of the military, they won't tell us. We do have oversight over them, but what are we going to do? We can't just call congressional hearings, or maybe we've tried, but they're being tight-lipped about it. Can you find out what's going on? And it would have been easier for Rick to have the storyline would have been much smoother if Rick was like, yeah, I'll figure out, I'll get this echelon briefing, and then I'll go back. So if there was a character that was part of the civilian government that said, hey, this is what's going on. Okay, well, we need to stop them. Can you do this, and that? Or maybe have some type of confrontation between that section of the military that's planning on doing this and the military that's like, what are you doing? That's insane. So that would have been better if there was some kind of confrontation between them. It seems like they could have maybe made it an 8-part series, probably stretched it out a little bit, included some type of interaction with the civilian government. But
this story was supposed to be wasn't it supposed to be like 3 movies?
It's supposed to be 3 movies, so I think that's what they were planning. But see, I don't know if this storyline was going to be what's part of the movies. I kind of feel it wasn't because now Daryl Dixon, that character, is in France. Right. So I think they had some kind of plan to go to Europe, but I don't. And again, I don't know how you could take this story and kind of spread it out over 3 movies.
Does Rick and Terry O'Quinn have a one-on-one fight?
They don't.
Oh.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. They do.
Oh.
It's kind of brief, but yeah, once Terry O'Quinn, who plays the general of the military, tells him what the true plan is. That's when Rick turns on him and kills him. Oh, okay. It's actually a really good scene because at one point, as he's being briefed, Rick is reaching for his knife because they've taken his guns. Yeah. And Terry O'Quinn, very quickly, he doesn't see what he's doing because he's doing it under their table that they're sitting across from. Mm-hmm. But Terry O'Quinn realizes something because the entire show he's been like, I don't know if I trust you 100%, Rick. There's something about you. I don't know, but I'm going to give you a chance. That's the theme that these two have throughout the entire series. And then Terry O'Quinn's character, he kind of looks at Rick's face. He's like, oh, no. And he reaches for his gun because he knows what Rick is planning. So that was a good scene. And, of course, Rick kills him. And he uses his zombified body to set off the bombs because he ties a bunch of grenades to hit to the pallets of ordnance and then ties the string to Terry O'Quinn's body. So as he's walking away, he's pulling the pins on these grenades. That's sets off the. Yeah, it's a good setup. But again, I think they kind of rushed through it.
Does it feel like a good capper to the storyline?
It does. I mean, it again. I think it could have been done better.
Right.
They should have maybe done 2 more episodes, but the final scene of him being reunited with his family
Right.
was a payoff to the fans like me who have been with the show since the beginning and have never left it.
Right.
You know, so it was a good payoff at the end.
So humanity still is fucked in 10 years, though, right?
Apparently so, according to the calculations of the Civil Republic military. Now, they do say the Civil Republic military. I don't know if that's, you know,
Right.
the exact calculations the Civil Republic civilian government has. Who knows? They don't go into any of that detail, and they don't even show or talk about the civilian government. It's all about it. They only show the Civil Republic military. So, again, I wish we could have seen that, but we didn't.
I mean, I thought from the little bit I've seen of the show, I do remember like Rick had that friend that was an engineer in the city there, right?
Yeah, so it was things like that were kind of jammed in. Like all of a sudden he has this engineer friend, and then Rick gets what he needs from him, and we never see him again.
Oh, okay.
You know, but we were supposed to, and he's in one episode for maybe 10 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, and he's like, "Hey, Rick, what's going on? Hey, buddy, how's it doing?
It's
Hey,
like,
man,
I
you remember
don't
those
think
good
I
old
should help
times?
you."
Yeah, he said, those good old times we've had. Yeah, you remember those good old times? And then he just moves on till this guy gets promoted.
Well, I'm done reminiscing.
Yeah, and then that's it. And then he sees him again. He's like, "Hey, by the way, I need you to, in these plans here, how do I get out of the city?" Well, I can't tell you that the city runs through. It's just it
sounds like a video.
It just kind of jammed in there. Yeah, it's very quick. And we never see the guy again. But apparently, the Civil Republic military, that section of it that was planning this, has been defeated, I guess, and then everything kind of just returns back to normal. And then Rick and Michonne are granted to go back to their community. And the reason they can't get away is because there's another character called Jadis who's been in a lot of these shows. She was in the original Walking Dead.
Yeah.
She was The World Beyond. That's the show I was thinking of. Walking Dead, The World Beyond, which goes into more detail with the Silver Republic. Omaha. That's the other city I was thinking of. That takes place in Omaha. And she is a character that's kind of been fucking shit up a long time. She was with the trash people who were lining up against Negan and the Saviors. She betrays Rick. She gets defeated along with the Saviors. Rick lets her be part of their community. She kind of betrays them, takes Rick to the Civil Republic. So she's been kind of, and then The World Beyond, she kills a major character in that. So this character has been kind of like fucking shit up this entire time, but she does believe in what the Civil Republic military is doing, which is trying to save humanity. She dies in the show, and when she died, I was like, finally, Jadis is fucking dead. Thank God. She's fucked all kinds of shit up, betrayed all kinds of people, fucked up all kinds of people. It's like, thank God she's finally gone. So they can't, when Michonne and Rick find each other, they can't leave because Jadis threatens. Rick says, if something happens to me, I've left a dossier in my room saying what Alexandria is, and again, this is a dumb plot line, but it's there. The Civil Republic military doesn't want anybody to know about Philadelphia, so they'll kill anybody. Nobody's allowed to leave, and anybody that finds out that the city is immediately killed. Which is like, there's 500,000 people. They say there's 500,000 people here. There's no way you can keep that secret.
Right.
In Philadelphia, come on, get the fuck out. And they're flying helicopters everywhere. They're always flying helicopters. Like, bitch, some survivor would be like, oh, what the, a helicopter? I haven't seen one of those in 10 years.
Right.
Let me follow it. Yeah, come on. You know, anyway. There's a scene where Rick and Michonne are flying back in a helicopter, and Michonne takes Rick, because they're flying over a lake, and throws him out of the helicopter along with her because he refuses to go back home because of Jada's threats. And because he seems like he kind of believes in taking back, stopping the CRM or changing its course of direction, because there's another character who's kind of mentoring him who dies. Their helicopter crashes. A CRM Apache attack helicopter shows up, blows it up because they don't want any type of evidence.
Yeah.
Again, they're in this apartment building and talking it out. And for a long time, this episode is really well done because Michonne, who is basically his wife and the father of his kids, is like, let's just go. They think we're dead. Let's just go. And he's like, I can't. Jadis's dossier will give us away. Plus, I think I can do some good here. And the entire time I'm thinking, like, who the fuck is this guy? This is not Rick Grimes that I know of.
Right.
And she says that. Michonne's like, who are you? Like, this is not the same person I know. Who are you? And then finally they kind of work their things out and they decide to go after the CRM. So there were a lot of good things about the show. I think it was rushed. I really wish I could have seen some more about the Civil Republic government itself, the civilian government. And then last episode ends, they kill most of those members of the CRM in that major explosion, and then all of a sudden they're home. It's just like, okay,
Big question.
Yeah.
Do you see them bone?
They do bone.
Yes.
Yeah. After they
That's
jump out
fucking
of
hot.
after they jump out of the helicopter, they're in like this apartment building that's been abandoned, and they go in there and there's a bunch of zombies in there, and they work together to get out of there. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good episode.
He pulls off that fake hand and gives her a good stumping.
So there's the other thing. So there was a part where they decide what they're going to do with the CRM to stop them.
Yeah.
And another character that Rick has been working with like walks into his room looking for him. She suspects something's up, and he left his like fake hand on the windowsill. I'm like, why the fuck would you leave that behind? I think you would kind of need that.
Right.
And lo and behold, when they're about to blow up that ordnance, this character shows up and is like, "What are you doing? Stop!" And the fucking ordnance blows up. So now all the soldiers that died are now zombified, and they're walking around. It's actually a pretty cool scene, but Rick is now fighting these zombies like hand to hand. There's like tons of them. I was like, yeah, you could have helped out. Is your knife,
stabby hand?
Yeah, your stabby hand with your iron fist. Like, there you go, good job. So anyway, there was a lot wrong with the show, but I still give it a B plus. It was a good wrap up to those two characters who we have loved.
And then Daryl Dixon's show is still going on.
That's still going. That's going to get a second season, I believe. But that show is really well done. The cinematography on it is beautiful. It's shot in location in France.
The Negan and Maggie show is still going too?
I don't know if that's going to get a second season. I didn't finish that because it was kind of like, it takes place in New York, and I hate to say it, but like with that show, it's like, hey, it's Walking Dead in New York. What do you think?
Yeah.
What do you think? And that's it. It's just like, okay, it's Walking Dead in New York.
Walking Dead.
And walking in.
And walking, watch out. And it's just like, okay. And it kind of doesn't really feel like New York because it's a soundstage.
Because it's,
so you're like, that doesn't really look like, they're on the streets of New York, but it's like, that looks like a soundstage.
Well, like...
that looks like Georgia.
Yeah.
Walking Dead has turned into the new CSI, where it's like, CSI Miami, CSI New York.
Yeah, exactly.
17th spin-off show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so there's a lot, and that's why it's hard to keep track of everything. The World Beyond and Omaha, and it's there's so much. The Negan and Maggie show, which I have not finished. I watched the first episode, and I was like, I'll get back to it. I did finish the Daryl episode because everybody loves those three characters: Rick, Michonne, and Daryl, and Carol. And Negan and Maggie are like, they're popular, but they're people are like those. It's mostly about those three main characters. Yeah. So. That's true. And Maggie's still running around somewhere too. I mean, Carol's still running around somewhere too. We'll see. I think she's going to maybe play a bigger role in the second season of Daryl Dixon. Right. She was supposed to have a spin-off show with him, that actress, but I think she's getting tired of doing this. Plus, they're in Georgia 9 months out of the year or whatever it is. So
that's true.
So yeah. Anyway, I recommend that show. It's okay if you're a major fan. Just it wraps up the storyline. So. And we should probably wrap it up here because it's already close to midnight. So,
yeah.
And I think
Watson into a pumpkin.
Yeah, Watson is fading.
Watson it's been a long day.
It's been a long day for Watson.
Take us out, Chad.
Okay. Thank you again, all of you, for listening and joining us for this new episode of the Enter the Nerdom. I'm farting out of my mouth right now. If you're not already subscribed, please subscribe, share us, rate, review, play some of our episodes for your kids if you want.
Do some art.
Do some fan art of Stan. Do him using a bidet. Draw Stan using a bidet.
There we go. I want to see all the bidet
all day, every day, bidet.
And yes, as we say, enter the nerddom, exit the monkey hole. Monkeys.
Underverse hole, the portal.
Yeah, monkey Hollow Earth, monkey hole.